green heels, I guess, not ruby red heels together, and produce a 6th win on the 2024 season against the Bartlesville Bruins. Hi, everybody. Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton. And are you the Tin Man? Are you the Lion? Or are you the Scarecrow, Nick?
I tell people that when I get up in the morning, I feel like the Tin Man who has to have his joints oiled every morning to get going. Yeah, so I'm definitely the Tin Man.
Quick thought about tonight's homecoming game against Bartlesville. Obviously, there's a couple of elephants in the room with P.J. Wallace against his former teammates.
It really is, and it's been kind of a battle. I've tried to stay off social media, but I understand it's been kind of blown up with all the back and forth about PJ coming to Muskogee this year. And so it'll be an important game for him. He wants to win, wants to get it over with and get all this done. Interestingly enough, this was to have been played at Bartlesville when the schedule came out originally, and then after all the OSSAA rule changes and court rulings and all that last summer, the schedule got changed and it ended up being here.
It does end up being here, and of course it's not only for P.J. Wallace, but it's also a kind of a reunion for Muskogee wide receiver Noah Darnell, who was at Bartlesville 2 years ago. But Harry Wright, the head coach of the Bruins, and Travis Hill of the Muskogee Ruffers say, guys, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to let that be a part of tonight's ball game. We're going to talk about X's and O's and execution and who is the best football team. Bartlesville 0-5, looking for their first win of the year. They're hungry. Ruffers are equally as intense in their direction of an undefeated season and a district championship. We'll talk more about our pregame countdown to kickoff. We'll give you a chance to meet one of the Ruffers who's up in that offensive front line. His name, Jaylen Burns, and he can move some earth when he throws a block. Back with more Ruffer football after this timeout on Ruffer football in 2024.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village. Moments before tonight's homecoming game against Bartlesville, we give you a chance every week to meet one of the Ruffers. Doesn't take much to look out on the field and find this Ruffer because he wears number 70. He stands 6'2". He tips the scales at plus 300. We'll call it 315 for tonight, Jaylen Burns. How do you use that height and then your size to your advantage?
I just go out there and dominate. I just like to push people around.
That offensive line has been kind of like a road grader. What kind of responsibility do you feel on a running play? What's going through your mind when Bird calls the play? You know it's coming your way to open a hole, whether it's for him or for PJ or for anybody else.
I just know I got to get him out the way. It's just like I got to move him out the way so the people behind me can have a lane.
Talk to me about how you keep yourself in the right spot. In other words, in a passing attack, though, you can't just fire off and go get somebody. Mm-hmm. It's protection. What things are you watching for out of the corner of your eyes, well as straight ahead, when you're in pass protection?
I really just got it depends on the call. So, sometimes I might be responsible for anything that comes to the left of me, or sometimes I might just have a man, or it really depends on the protection call.
Double team blocks on the running game, I know, are a lot of fun for you and Miguel. You guys just like to punish people. Am I right? Kind of describe what your mentality is, what you're thinking about when you know 70 and 71 are going to try and annihilate that guy across from you.
It just feels good. I just like to dominate. And it's like I can dominate somebody without getting in trouble for it.
Exactly. Let's talk about what you like to do in your own time. When Jaylen's not practicing football, when he's not in the weight room, or when he's not out on the football field competing, what are the things that you like to do on your own time? I know there's a little trash talking going on the other night in the radio show about who's better at a particular video game.
Yeah. I play NCAA a little bit. I haven't been on it often. I've been focusing on football, getting the crunch time, playoffs coming up.
But you also can take Coach Joe to the numbers anytime you want to?
Yeah, I can take him anytime.
Go ahead.
I really just like to chill with family and watch football.
Watch football and, more importantly, play football. What are you looking for from the rest of the season? I mean, you come into the program this year, obviously paired up with some great teammates. What is Jaylen Burns thinking about 2024 in your senior campaign?
Winning another gold bar. Well, winning my first gold bar in high school.
Well, hopefully it's back-to-back for the Ruffers, and you get to put a ring on your finger as well.
Yes, sir.
Jaylen Burns, number 70, our guest in our pregame countdown to kickoff here on homecoming night. Back to talk with the boss, head coach Travis Hill. That after this timeout, you're watching Ruffer Football 2024.
Jay Hodge here with Rick. A man of few words.
Wow!
That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick.
Wow!
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities. Because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Ruffer football on this week number 6, game number 6, homecoming week at Muskogee. There's no place like home, and Travis, I guess that's a true statement because playing here at the Village is always a great place to be.
No, it's an excellent place to be. We enjoy it. It continues the climate. And I'm not talking about the temperature. I'm talking about the way the environment is around here and everything like that. It's just excellent. And again, I'll give that up to our administration, the people in our community that care and have provided an excellent opportunity for our young people to play in front of a great crowd and a great environment.
Well, it's interesting you would use the word climate because it has been a little bit toasty this week in many different avenues. The word homecoming brings a lot of excitement, but it brings a lot of challenges, especially when you're trying to hold all the individual pieces into one collective group to go out and win a football game.
It does, and the parade and you name it. But you know that's for the kids, and so that's what we do it all for. But yeah, from the adult standpoint and from the supervised standpoint, it puts in more repercussions and more problems to deal with. But our kids are continuing to grow, and what we're going to rely on is the program. And the program should take care of that and expectations. And the kids are what make up the program. So I think they'll handle it just right and still be able to put the fun in homecoming and hopefully they'll win in homecoming.
And of course, we can't avoid the big elephants in the room. Everybody knows that P.J. Wallace played for Bartlesville last year. Noah Darnell, another Ruffer this year, was there 2 seasons ago. Obviously, it's a game that they've looked forward to, as have their former teammates in coming in here tonight to Ruffer Village.
Yeah, you know, from a standpoint from coaches, how do I want to put that? We're knowledgeable. We're not dummies either, but there's no game planning around that besides the idea of just getting better. But the idea is, and we know that, is we got 2 young men that come from there, and it's going to start happening a lot more here in the future with other programs. It has been. The Union Jinx rivalry has that quite often. Now, you know, with Bartlesville, these 2 young men thought for the betterment of themselves or whatever it may be. That's their choice to be down here would be Ruffers, and we're glad they're here. We're excited they're here. And it does put another little twist to the game, and we'll look at it and smile about it and have fun with it, and let's move on. Let's go see if we can win a football game.
Ruffers look to go 6-0. One interesting point tonight will be how will the offense execute against the Bruin defense. Levy Adcock will give us some insight on that when we continue our pregame countdown to kickoff. This is Ruffer Football in 2024.
Proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract. Here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee. Or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Back on Ruffer football from the Village, home of Muskogee Ruffer football. Ruffer Village tonight, homecoming celebration. A lot of excitement before the ball game as well as scheduled for halftime. But Levy Adcock, hopefully the most excitement will be over the 48 minutes of high school football here tonight with the offense going up and down the field.
Yes, sir. Up a pretty good test this week. We're going to see a much improved team from a couple weeks prior. Really excited to get out here and let these kids go compete and keep building what we've been building.
Talk about this offense because it is becoming so multifaceted. It's not just a passing game. It's not just a run game. It's not just RPO. You've got a lot of options because of a lot of playmakers who are following their assignments.
Yes, sir. We're just trying to make it as tough as we can on defenses. We don't want them to know where it's going. We want them to have to defend everything rather than, narrowing down on one thing, making us one-dimensional. We want to stay two-dimensional, three-dimensional in our, especially within our schemes.
And with the seemingly exploding offense that Bartlesville has picked up the last couple of weeks, time of possession for Muskogee's offense can be a real plus when you can move the chains and go 10 plays or whatever it takes. But I guess one play for a score is just as good as a 10-play drive.
I'll take as many one-players as we can get. But, yeah, time possession is huge to me because if we're the majority on the field, that means the other team's not majority on the field. But that also could be a double-edged sword there, and hopefully it doesn't mean we're in trouble having to play catch-up or anything like that. But, yeah, we like to dictate the tempo and especially the pace of play in the game.
What have you seen from film study on Bartlesville, whose defense is maturing? It's a very young defense like we've seen in other teams, but it's still a team that is growing with confidence and getting more and more better results out of their defensive efforts. And where can you feel like you can take advantage tonight?
There's a couple things that jump right off the page, especially when we dove into the film, is number one is they are young. And then the second thing, and probably the thing we focus on more than anything, is that they are very well coached. They're not out of place. They don't take too many risks. It's hard to fool them, but they're just a really, really sound defense that they just do their jobs. Each person, the 11 on defense, do their jobs, and the guys that rotate in, you don't really miss a beat with them. So we're just going to try to take advantage of their youth is what we would try to do.
Is there one particular part of that offensive play calling you feel you can call at any given time and get the productivity you're looking for?
I wish that was a yes or no question, but no, we're confident in what we've been building, especially within our run game and a lot of our play action stuff. Yeah, we're pretty confident, especially from a player standpoint, to be able to move the ball and keep the chains moving.
But as we get into the second half of the season, which begins tonight, I mean, this is week number 6 or game number 6. Mm-hmm. Are there still those unseen messages, unseen calls that Levy Adcock still has on that play sheet that maybe you let one out tonight or maybe you keep it under reps?
Oh, yeah, there's always something we keep for an emergency type thing. There's a few things we work out on every Thursday. Like yesterday we worked it. But, yeah, we have the plays that we don't want to call unless we have to. Absolutely.
Well, good luck in tonight's ball game, and let's put a lot of points up on the scoreboard, and hopefully that makes it easier for the defense.
Hey, go Ruffers! Let's do it.
All right, Levy Adcock, our guest, back with defensive coordinator Steve Craver. That after this time out of Ruffer football in 2024.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football tonight from the Village as Muskogee prepares to take on the Bruins of Bartlesville. We bring in defensive coordinator Steve Craver. A good showing last Friday night, but tonight a much tougher opponent.
Absolutely, Bill. It's Bartlesville. I consider it a rivalry. Every time we play these guys, you got to play to the echo of the whistle. You got to finish plays. We're prepared to do that tonight. See what happens.
They've got a quarterback that can put the ball in the air and put it on target. They've got a great receiver in number 8. I think that's NEWl or Nico. Anyway, whatever his last name is, Nico, I know it's his first name, a very talented athlete that can go get the football. And how do you set up your defense with what you've seen that the Bruins like to do?
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. We call it a screw tape in Texas. Everybody's got to do their job, Bill. The defensive line got to establish the line. The linebackers got to make checks and get us in the right calls that we need to be. And then the DB's got to keep everything in front. We're going to make sure we know where number 8's at. We got to also respect everybody else on that team as well.
Well, they don't have the powerhouse running game that they had last year because he's now wearing number 20 for the green, but it is still a running game that has been getting better game by game. And when they've got that ability to be balanced, it really puts a lot of pressure on your defensive front.
Absolutely, Bill. And that's funny because Bartlesville was my second coaching job when I started coaching back in 2009. And it just seems like they always have a running back, always a running back there, a up-and-coming running back. And that's what you see now. We're glad to have PJ on our side, but they've done a good job in identifying a guy that's efficient for him. We got a game tackle. We got to tackle him hard and tackle him often.
You mentioned all parts doing their thing and everybody working 11 as one, but is there a part of your defensive scheme, without giving away the calls, where you feel like you can put pressure on the quarterback or you can force them into a one-dimensional offense?
Now, you said it, Bill. I mean, we want to actually stop the run, right? We want to stop the run. We want to establish a line of scrimmage when I say that. Get them in some passing situations and see what happens, Bill. But we always want to try to make them one-dimensional, try to throw them off their rhythm. That's what we're going to try to do.
And takeaways, just like last week, can put points on the board in a hurry.
I've been proud of the defense scoring off those takeaways, Bills. If we get one of those, that'd be great. But just trying to get the ball back to our offense, that's the goal.
Steve Craver with tonight's defensive game plan for the Muskogee Ruffers, back with the winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law with head coach Travis Hill. After this time out, this is Ruffer Football in 2024.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Welcome back to Ruffer Football here in 2024. Back at Ruffer Village here on this Friday night. Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton. We've got our homecoming night festivities going on. Let's go down on the field, let you meet some of the members of the 2024 homecoming court.
She's proud to be a Ruffer because she loves how close her class is and how invested and involved everyone is as a whole. I love Muskogee, and I'm proud that I go to school here. The support and encouragement from the community is everything, and we have that. Your slow pitch softball attendant is Jay Byfield Barnowski. She's escorted by Ashley and Rick Barnowski, and she would like to thank everyone who has supported her through the years and made it possible to be where she is today. Your football attendant is Jamarian Ficklin. He's escorted by Brandy and Mark Ridley and Howie and Justin Ficklin. He would like to thank both Mom and Dad in working together to always provide him with everything he's ever wanted, as well as many late-night drives going to and from colleges. Your girls' swim attendant is J.C. Cumby. Her escorts are Travis and Amanda Cumby, and she would like to thank her coach, Tim Purdy, and her assistant coach, Hope, for pushing her and making her a better swimmer. Your boys' swim attendant is Keaton Davis. His escorts are Leslie and Chris Davis, and he would like to thank April Cohen for showing him creativity isn't something you just put on a page. Your drama attendant is Aniston Davis. Her escorts this evening are Leslie and Chris Davis. She's proud to be a Ruffer because admin, teachers, and her friends have given her the confidence to take the next step in her future. Your cheer attendant is Paisley Tolbert. Her escorts are James, Ann, and Brittany Tolbert. She's proud to be a Ruffer because she's been a Ruffer her whole entire life, and it's an honor to be a part of a legacy that values hard work, pride, and unity. Your dance attendant is Race Duncan. Her escorts this evening are Shauna and Nikki Duncan. She's proud to be a Ruffer because her school spirit brings everyone together and creates a real sense of community. Being a Ruffer means that she's part of a tradition that values hard work and having each other's back. Your Oklahoma Honor Society attendant is Golden Johnson. Her escorts are Golden, Kia, and Thomas Johnson. She's proud to be a Ruffer because the support and encouragement that she's received from the Ruffer community has helped mold her into the lady that she is today. And every day is truly a great day to be a Ruffer. Your National Honor Society attendant is Gabriel Camato. His escorts this evening are Eric and Leslie Camato, and he would like to thank his mother for pushing him, even when he made it hard on himself and her. Your color guard attendant is Avery Sayre. Her escorts are Christy Sayre and Kevin Worthing. She's proud to be a Ruffer because our community always knows how to bring spirit and encourage each other. Your FCCLA attendant is Brooklyn Thomas. Her escort is Charlene Walser. She would like to thank her mom for making her into the person she is today. Your support, guidance, and love have been invaluable. Your FFA attendant is Malia Adams. Her escorts are Jamie and David Adams, and she would like to thank her brother for always being there for her and pushing her to be her best. Your robotics attendant is Addison Plunkett. Her escorts are Jessica Colbert and Ben Plunkett. She's proud to be a Ruffer because this high school isn't just made up of friends, it is one family. Your science club attendant is Kensington Moore. Her escort is Amber Moore, and she would like to thank her mom. She's always supported her and taught her important values that have shaped her into who she is today. Your student life council attendant is Gracie McCoy. Her escorts are Brian and Tiffany McCoy, and she would like to thank all the teachers she's had through her academic journey for always pushing her, and most importantly, her family for always supporting her with her crazy and elaborate dreams. You all have made a forever impact on my life, and I cannot express my gratitude enough. Your yearbook attendant is Amaya Drake. Her escort is Rashonda Maxwell. She would like to thank her mom for always being there for her. The Young Republicans attendant is Ella Dansby. Her escorts are Amber and Jason Dansby. She's proud to be a Ruffer because we strive to be the best and work until we are. Your library club attendant is Hallie Lynch. Her escorts this evening are Kelsey Bryant and Bob Lynch, and she would like to thank her mom because of the sacrifices she's made for her. Ruffer family, at this time, please join me as we recognize the 2024 Fall Homecoming Royalty. Our first recipient, Senior Edward James. Our next recipient, Senior Jada Wardlow. Ruffer family, at this time, please give a round of applause for Edward James, Jada Wardlow, and all of our wonderful students and representatives this evening.
Well, down on the field, you can see the presentation of the homecoming royalty and the placement of the crown upon the head of Miss Jada Wardlow. And that's being done by senior Muskogee Ruffer Edward James, who's voted from men's basketball to be the part of the royalty here tonight, along with some 40 other members representing all the different organizations here at Muskogee High School here on this homecoming 2024. There's no place like home. Ruffer football tonight against the Bartlesville Bruins. Back with more of our pregame countdown to kickoff. That after this timeout.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football homecoming night here in Muskogee. Bruins of Bartlesville come into Ruffer Village, and Coach Travis Hill rejoining us here for some last-minute thoughts before the team takes the field. One additional adjustment you have to make on this week was no school today, and obviously that kind of changed the hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute readiness for tonight's contest.
It does, and I want you to think ahead, though. If we're fortunate enough to continue to be successful in our program this year, we're going to play on a fall break, actually next week, where we won't have school, and then you're going to have a playoff game during Thanksgiving that you're not going to have school. So these are things that can prepare you and help you, and our kids have always done a good job. So, yeah, there's an adjustment in the schedule, but it's the same adjustment we've had year in and year out. Basically, I'm going to jump back to Coach Watkins, just following his routine he's had. We have a 9 a.m. breakfast. We have a parade in between it all this time, with the parade at noon, and then, our gathering together back here at 2:30 to organize, sit down, relax, get mind all things put behind us at that point in time and get ready to play football.
Ruffers tonight against Bartlesville. It's another district opponent. It's a football team that is hungry for a victory, and coming into Ruffer Village would like nothing more than to spoil the homecoming celebration for the green and white. Travis, we always talk about the winning strategy. We broke down the offense with Levy. We talked about the defense with Coach Craver. But through the eyes of head coach Travis Hill, tonight's winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law.
I think a fast start will help, but, in order to do that, that's probably more the idea. So always be nice. But we got to get our stops. We've gotten so much better the last two ball games, particularly against Ponca City second half. If we can get our stops and get Bartlesville off the field, then that's going to give us an opportunity to get more snaps offensively. And I think time will be to our advantage. In other words, time of possession. The longer we possess the football, the longer the football game goes on. That ought to be to our advantage. So if we can get our stops early in the football game, no turnovers, I think we have a good chance to win the football game.
Let's go get number 6.
Let's go get number 6. You made me think about that. I had to start counting there a little bit. It is number 6. And so the superstition side of Coach Hill, every time that I put out our stuff to our young people, the last thing is game time, 7 o'clock. This is your typical agenda, travel agenda, what it may be. And I always put an asterisk on what win it is. So, yeah, as of yesterday when I put that together, 6 asterisks expecting for our 6th win.
Head coach Travis Hill with tonight's winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Back with Health of the Ruffers, Justin Laird will be our guest after this time out of Ruffer football in 2024. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. the #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Back at Ruffer Village on this Friday night homecoming week. A lot of activities going on from early on today throughout the opening kick of tonight's ball game. But when it comes down to playing football, one of the things you have to be concerned about is the health of the Ruffers. We bring in athletic trainer Justin Laird. Justin, we talk about a lot of things that you look at in the players' performance, in their eyes, and just trying to get a good mindset for what's going on with each player. But you've almost got to have maybe 1 or 2 assistants to help you keep up with time management, because there are a lot of things that you have to be accountable for, knee braces and such.
Oh, absolutely. You know, getting ready for Friday night starts on Thursday and Wednesday. Whether it's travel or whether it's home, you know, you got to start packing if you're traveling. And if it's home, you know, you got to start preparing. You know, we put the tape out. We know what color we're going to spat in, what color we're going to use, other than our regular tape that we use. And plus, you know, making sure each one of my student trainers has a list of what they do in preparation for Friday night, whether it be watering sidelines, or they water during timeouts, or they help set up the sidelines for the game. And plus, they have a list of chores or job duties, I should say, that they have before the game, like getting all the water out, getting all the ice out. And then some of them will help me tape, and then they rotate during the week.
Do you also have to provide similar sources for the team that's coming into Ruffer Village?
90% of the time I'm in contact with whoever the team coming in is, you know, of what they need, tell them what we normally provide on the sidelines. We normally provide them injury ice. And if they need coolers or water, we'll provide that. We have water access on the sidelines available for them. Let them know we'll have a dock there if they need a dock, and where everything is.
Athletic trainer Justin Laird, our guest here in Health of the Ruffers, will check the health of the Ruffers coming into this game number 6 of the 2024 campaign. When we continue after this timeout and the pregame countdown to kickoff, Health of the Ruffers brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back after this 30-second timeout.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams, now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CD JR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CDJR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Back with tonight's Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Head athletic trainer Justin Laird, our guest. Justin, we talk about all the things you have to be ready for, but then standing around in the locker room and watching you get the players ready to take the field, you almost have to be a magician at sometimes, because it takes a different rap for a different player depending upon whether it's a knee, an ankle, or in some cases like tonight with Jackson Raper, a hand injury.
Magician, MacGyver, something there. Between taping the ankle, spatting the shoes, taping the wrist, making sure everything else is ready. And then you'll have a specialized tape job for Jackson Raper, because you'll have to pad his hand up because he has a splint on there, and state requirements that it be padded up. Then it has to be, I got to take him out, show the referees the release, and then the referees have to inspect it to make sure he's okay, that he don't use it for a weapon or there was nothing hard in it. So, yes, sometimes it's like a magician having to take care of 14 different things, and you know, with the help of Coach Leo, you know, we get everything done, ready to go.
You've been able to pull the rabbit out of your hat so far, and it's all been good. But coming into game number 6, other than that injury to Jackson Raper, Health of the Ruffers is clean and green?
You know, for the most part, yes. You know, being this far into the season, we have not had a major injury. We've had, yes, knock on wood, we've had a few We've went through concussion protocol a couple of times this year already. But other than that, we have not had any major injuries, and we hope to keep it that way through game 12 or 13.
Justin Laird, head athletic trainer with tonight's Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back with starting lineups and more on this homecoming night from Ruffer Village. That after this time out on Ruffer football in 2024.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words.
Wow!
That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick.
Wow!
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village here on this week number 6, Muskogee Ruffers for homecoming night against the Bartlesville Bruins. Do you see the captains down on the center of the field meeting with the officials? Ethan Rowland is the referee tonight. Chad Craig, the umpire. Devin Jarrett is the line judge. Dusty Hutchins is the head linesman. And Aaron Stallings is the back judge. Nick, if you're Muskogee and you win the coin toss, do you want the football first or do you want your defense to set the stage?
I think you want the football first. Try to get things going, get that first score on the board. That's been kind of the mantra, I think, these last 3 weeks in particular. Go out, get a quick lead, get things done. Let's get the reserves some playing time and get on down the road.
Bartlesville Bruins captains meeting with the Muskogee contingent that tonight include Noah Darnell along with Jamarian Ficklin, Latavian Johnson, and I think the other one is
Bartlesville has won the toss and elects to receive.
P.J. Wallace. And the Bartlesville won the toss. Bartlesville won the toss, and what do we get, Nick?
I think the Bartlesville won, and I think they declined.
Okay, declined in the second half, so Muskogee will begin. So let's give a chance for our starting lineups tonight, brought to you by Jay Hodge Chevrolet. Remember, you can find a great deal on new or used Chevrolet car or truck when you stop in to Jay Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Starting defensive lineups, first of all, for the visiting Bruins of head coach Harry Wright, now in his third year. Across the front, John Torres, Grant Foote, Avery Hutchins, and Bowden Roberts. Torres, a real terror in that defensive front, a 6', 225-pound junior with 14 tackles on the season. A linebacking crew that is led by Archer Swisher, who last week, Nick, had 7 tackles for loss along with 2 sacks in that overtime setback to Sapulpa, a 6'2", 187-pound junior outside linebacker. Sutton Williams, a 6'1", 175 junior, and Mason Manley, a senior at the other linebacker. This is a lineup defensively, Nick, that's pretty young.
They are, and they have gotten better as the season goes along. Their 0-5 record may be a little bit misleading. They lost last week in overtime, had a close game the week before, so they're getting better as they go along, but still looking for that first win of the season.
Corners will be E.J. Belisle, a 6', 160-pound freshman. On the other side at the corner, a returning starter from a year ago, Ivan Griffith, 6'1", 175, a junior. Safeties will be Michael Kent, a 5'10", 165-pound freshman, and another underclassman, but a 2-year starter, a junior, Sam Hoback, who's got 42 tackles on the season, including 1 interception and 2 forced fumbles. For the Muskogee Ruffers offensively, well, you can start with the people that make it happen, Nick, and I think you have to give the credit where credit has been due. That's to those big 5 up front.
They were, and it was last week, they were our players of the week, so to speak, them in the defensive line. Those guys up front, they're kind of the blue-collar guys that don't ever get the glory, but do all the work.
Well, they certainly take up a lot of space at the training table, too, when it comes time to eat, because these guys can put away some grub. Miguel Chavez, a University of Nevada, Las Vegas commit, a 6'5", 295-pound senior at 1 tackle. The opposite side tackle will be O'Shea Stevenson, 6'2", and 291, also a senior. A transfer from Tulsa Rogers and a 6'2", 310-pound senior Jaylen Burns, who was our guest in the Get to Know Ruffers segment of our pregame, in case you missed it. A very personable young man, but he likes the physicality of double teaming with Miguel or whoever else is up front in destroying the opposing defender. The center, the other guard will be Jackson Raper, who will tonight be wearing that padded up hand. He's got a broken bone in his hand, so he's got that properly attired thanks to the athletic training staff headed up by Justin Laird. And then the man that starts every play, the center, Hunter Lanier, 6'1", 260 pounds, just a junior. He's been one of the top-graded linemen, Nick, in that front five for Muskogee.
He is, and that whole line has really come alive this year. That was a big question mark going into the season, having to replace the entire offensive line. And these guys so far have really measured up to the task.
Look for some big things tonight from the H-back or the tight end, if you want to call it that. Javon Washington, 6', 230-pound senior with only 5 receptions on the year, or 12 receptions a year ago. On the other wideout position will be Jamie Beasley, a 6'2", 160-pound junior who was just really, you got to think, ready to kind of break out, Nick. I mean, he's been so close to having some huge plays. He's had his share of touchdowns already with 3 receptions on the season. Noah Darnell, a 6', 160-pound senior. He'll alternate plays with E.J. James in that receiving corps. Of course, E.J. was part of homecoming royalty, one of the top-voted students in today's balloting. Andre Beasley, of course, will be one of the featured members of that offensive unit that sets to be explosive tonight, the 5'8", 175-pound junior with only 12 receptions on the year. But, Nick, 12 catches for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good productivity.
It really is, and he's done a really fine job for the Ruffers and filling up some of that hole left in the receiving corps from graduation last year.
And then, of course, the featured running back will be P.J. Wallace, the 6'1", 225-pound junior who came into the Muskogee camp back last spring on a move from Bartlesville. P.J. through the first 6 games of the year, 78 carries, 723 yards, and 7 scores. And, Nick, you know he would like to do what he did a year ago in the game against the Muskogee Ruffers. Against the Bartlesville Bruins tonight. Last year in Bartlesville, P.J. Wallace had 170 yards on 35 carries. I don't think he'll carry the ball 35 times tonight, but I think he'll get his 170 yards.
Well, in that game last year, too, it was a very tough game as Ruffers really escaped with a fourth-quarter touchdown to kind of come from behind and win that game, and Wallace was a big part of leading that Bruin team to what looked like it might be a victory.
I have a strong suspicion we'll see a little bit of running back, too. Touches for Latavian Johnson, the 5'7", 175-pound senior who played last year with a torn ACL. And then the guy that drives the bus, the guy that makes it all happen. He's not known as Jamarian. He's known as Bird. Jamarian Ficklin, the 6'2", 185-pound senior. Now in his career, Nick, 9,346 yards, 103 touchdown career passes. He's shooting for the 10,000 mark. I don't think he'll get those numbers tonight, but I think certainly before end of season, he'll break the 10K passing yardage.
Ruffers are going to kick off, so we misread the flipped coin. So the Ruffers will kick off, and Bartlesville will get their first crack on offense. And so the Ruffer defense will be called upon early to make a 3-and-out count.
Well, here's one member of the defense that can take away any type of returns, and that's Reese Summerhill. Summerhill's been doing a good job with the special teams, the 6', 165-pound senior. Has it teed up. We're just about set for the opening kick here on Homecoming 2024 from the village of Muskogee. Summerhill with a driving kick. Sends the return man to the 1. He'll come straight ahead, out to the 10, to the 15, off a block to the edge at the 25, and out on the corner before finally being shoved out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Good return that time by Bartlesville, as it was Archer Swisher on the return.
So the Bruins set up, get a pretty good return, and it'll start right around the 30. So they'll put it at the 31, actually. So 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Ruffer defense led by Tim Moore at the linebacking spot, among others. Ready to try and get a 3-and-out to get this game started.
4-year starter at quarterback Nate NEWl will get another start. The 6', 195-pound senior, 71 of 136 for the year for 1,111 yards already and 12 touchdowns. He'll send a trips formation wide to the left, bring motion to line up Sutton Williams next to him. They'll hand it off inside to Williams. He'll slide off the left side of that Bruin front and get maybe a yard to the 32-yard line before the Ruffer defense submarines and makes the tackle.
Opened up with an empty backfield to start off with. Looked like they were going to throw the ball, and then right at the last second, Sutton moves into the running back spot and takes it, but the Ruffer defense not fooled, and they smother him after a 1-yard gain.
Making some quick personnel changes in their defensive front. Bartlesville also adjusting their offense as NEWl gets the play from the sideline. A triangle of receivers to the boundary to the left. NEWl takes it, straight drop back, looks to want to run. And he could not avoid the oncoming blitz of Timmy Moore.
Wow.
Timo with too much.
Moore just shed off a block like he wasn't even there and moved around him, and NEWl had no chance on that.
That's his 10th tackle of the season for minus yardage. This one a minus 11, so it puts the Bruins in 3rd and long. They have to go to the 41 to pick up the first down, so it's a 3rd and 21. And the Ruffer defense will go with a nickel 5-man defensive secondary, expecting the pass.
6th sack of the year for Tim.
NEWl with the running back to his left. Twins left and right. Straight drop back, look to throw across the middle, waits on a crossing route, caught, and then just, a crushing blow. Koda Barnowski making the stop on the pass for Landry Deaton. Nick had got 2 yards or 3 yards, but that's 3 the hard way.
I know it. And Deaton's going to be paying the price for that one.
So the Bruins will go with their first 3 and out of the night, and the Ruffers will put the elusive Andre Beasley standing back across the 50 and around the 45-yard line to wait the punt from Dylan Burson. Burson will wait on a snap. He'll take that about the 10, get the kick away. Beasley will let it bound, and he'll just clear out of the way, and it'll take a roll and crawl its way up the field and come to a creeping halt at the 40-yard line in Ruffer territory. That's where the Ruffers will start, 1st and 10. 9:45 to play here in the opening quarter. Credit the defense, Nick. They've got 6 shutout quarters, but they get an all-important 3 and out in the first series.
Well, that was the whole idea. The Ruffers deferred and got that 3 and out, and now they get great field position as they start at their own 40-yard line, trying to get the thing going offensively for Muskogee as Bird and company come out. Wallace, the running back, will set up there with him.
Ball will be placed on the right hash. Ruffers will stack 2 receivers to the near side. Beasley is the man behind the front line receiver. H-back to the same way. A little play action. Out in space to Andre. Comes off the block from Javon. And then will be wrestled to the turf. Good recovery that time by the Bruins defense. Michael Kent coming up from his safety spot to make the stop. Gain of only 2 upfield to the 42-yard line. Now 2nd down and 8.
Quick. Usually Bird sidesteps that, or Beasley sidesteps that and gets some more yardage, but good open field tackle by Kent there.
Jamie and Andre Beasley will go wide to the right. Noah Darnell to the boundary left. Washington across the formation. They'll play action, give it off inside for Wallace. Breaks 1 tackle, drives into Bruin territory. One of the things that I've always admired about P.J. Wallace, now as a Ruffer running back, but as a Bruin too, falling forward on all contact. Ivan Griffith coming up to make the stop, but not before Wallace is able to go from the 42 to the 45, 47, a gain of 5. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 for Muskogee. Moving from right to left here on their first offensive series. Bring motion across in front of the Muskogee Ruffers, and there's movement up front. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And those are the little things, Nick, that just create havoc in trying to find some smooth running for your offense. A costly penalty of a 5-yard situation. So instead of being 3rd and 3, it's now going to be 3rd down and 8.
Jackson Raper was a little too anxious that time and lifted himself up before the snap count.
So the Ruffers now will send Beasley to the left side and put again Noah Darnell out on the numbers to the near side left. Wallace to the left shoulder of Ficklin this time. Straight drop back for the left-handed quarterback. Waits in the pocket, steps up, looking to run or throw. Jukes 1 defender, breaks out of a 2nd tackle, lunges across the midfield stripe. He'll get the first down.
Great 2nd, 3rd effort by Bird that time. Wow.
Jamarian Ficklin going from the 42-yard line.
10 yards.
Gets 10 yards, and a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer. 1st down and 10 at the Bartlesville 48-yard line.
Bruins had him stopped there, but Bird just kept lunging and finally got it across the 50.
So now with Twins again to the short side boundary outside the numbers. Bring Beasley in motion on a sweep, trying to turn the corner, steps out of a tackle. Jitterbugs one tackler inside the 40, keeps his balance at the 35, puts his hand on the turf, and crawls down to the 35-yard line. They'll say that's where the knee touched the artificial surface. But it'll be a 13-yard pickup. The Baker's dozen yardage gain for Andre Beasley and a Muskogee Ruffer Kyle Edwards Buick GMC first down.
Wallace with a nice lead block out there to seal the end and let Beasley get around the corner.
Beasley and Beasley, again, will be the wide receiver package. Washington lined up as the tight end. He'll now move over to the left side. Ficklin will play action, throw across the middle. It's intended for Andre Beasley, who got hit on the play. There was a collision between Beasley and Michael Kent on that slant route.
Flag is down, too. I think the Ruffers are going to get called for a hold here, probably.
Our referee tonight will indicate the infraction.
Holding.
Ethan Rowland making the interpretation of the holding penalty against the Ruffers. Second flag here early in the opening possession, moving it back to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20. Good crowd piling into Ruffer Village here tonight. Darnell will be the single receiver to the left. Beasley and Beasley up top, out wide to the right. Now Ficklin out of the gun with Wallace to his right. Takes the numbers high snap. Stands, counters out, looks to run and throw. Throws down the field. Wide open is Beasley. He's at the 20. Andre at the 10. To the end zone. Touchdown, Muskogee.
Boy, you and I could have run that one in, being that wide open.
45-yard pass and run combination from Jamarian Ficklin. His 104th career touchdown pass to Andre Beasley, who gets his 4th pass reception for 6 points, and the Ruffers are on the scoreboard going to 60 yards for the touchdown.
Boy, he was wide open. There's no one within 20 yards of Beasley on that play.
Credit Jamie Beasley. He ran off the coverage, Nick, and Andre just slipped out there all by his lonesome. Somebody on that outside edge, I don't know which one of the defensive backs it was for the Bruins.
We have unsportsmanlike. On my offense, 15-yard penalty.
Andre Beasley went into the end zone and on that catch slammed the ball to the turf. Of course, you can't do that. Too much excitement. So that penalty will be enforced on the unsportsmanlike conduct on the kickoff try.
Ruffers had one of those last week, too.
Reese Summerhill will be on to try the PAT. So far on the year for the senior, 33 of 34 attempts. Good snap, ball's down, chip shot through the uprights, time out on the field, 7:23 to go. Opening 12 minutes, Ruffers on their first possession overcome 2 penalties to get 2 first downs, and then the big play, the 45-yard touchdown strike, Ficklin to Beasley. Time out on the field, Muskogee 7, Bartlesville nothing, back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2024.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Back in the village, Muskogee Ruffers here on homecoming night, getting the extra point from Reese Summerhill to make it a 7-0 contest. Ruffers got flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration of Andre Beasley on that big pass play. So the ball will be now marked off and moved back to the 25-yard line where Reese Summerhill will kick off. And Nick, it's always important to remember who the penalty was on. It was on Andre, and of course, if he were to get a second one tonight, he would be disqualified from the remainder of the contest.
Summerhill will kick off from the 25, so this should give the Bruins an opportunity to make a pretty nice kick return.
Had a pretty decent return the last time, going all the way out to the 31-yard line, about a 30-yard kick return. Ruffers in the all green and white here on homecoming night. Summerhill will approach. He'll put a big, strong foot into it, drive the return specialist back to the 10 where he fumbles it, picks it back up to the 20, to the 25, will be collared from behind and twisted and slammed out of bounds. One of the Ruffers got into a little bit of contact, and there was a headgear pulled off by the Bruin
Anthony White there.
blocking back, and Anthony White losing his headgear.
And now let's check the penalty flag. That's probably going to be a block in the back, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, that may be what also caused the headgear to come off the head of Anthony White. Otherwise, he's got to come off the field for a play. Ruffer football this season brought to you by Cornerstone Funeral Home, by J. Hod Chevrolet, Bravado Wireless, and Pioneer Abstract.
Face mask. On the receiving team, 15 yards from the end of the run. From the flag.
So they got a hold of Anthony's face mask and pulled it off, and that'll cost him 15.
And it's from the spot of the foul, Nick. It's not from the end of the run, so it'll move it from the 26, half the distance, back to the 13. So what appeared would be good field position for Bartlesville on their second series will not be such good yardage, but they'll start from their own 13-yard line with 7:16 to play here in the opening 12, and Ruffers leading 7-0.
Ruffers would certainly like to get another 3 and out here if they can.
Nate Neal, a 4-year starter at quarterback. Going to hand it off in traffic, and there's just nothing going. Ruffer defensive front smothering it. Caden Harkin, one of those defenders in the green jersey.
He was the first one there.
No gain on the play.
Also, Latavian Johnson coming in from the linebacker spot in on the tackle.
Ball carrier for the Bruins that time was Sutton Williams. So it'll be second down and 10. And now referee stopping the clock. And they'll reset the 25-second play clock. Running back is Noah Newton lining up directly behind the quarterback on a 2nd and 10. Little counter handed off in traffic. This is Newton. He gets across the 15 up to about the 17 before he's finally met head on. Ruffers coming up off the bottom of the pile. Good effort that time by Arias Parrish. The gain will go from the 13 to the, call it the 19, a 6-yard pickup. And it'll be 3rd down and a 4 situation needed for the Bruins. Moving from left to right or from north to south here at Ruffer Village. Twin receivers to either side. Neal with a hard count, trying to get the Ruffers to jump into the neutral zone. And now with the running back directly behind the quarterback, they'll turn, hand it off in traffic. There's a bit of a gap, but then there's a body slam tackle made by Latavian Johnson at the 19-yard line. So virtually no gain on the play, and it'll be a second consecutive 3 and out. Nick, that might be a stat to keep up with tonight. How many times the Ruffer defense can find the 3 and out?
That's 2 for 2. Latavian Johnson has been a real nice surprise, moving from full-time running back into kind of a part-time running back and mostly time full linebacker.
Dylan Burson will again stand back around his 5. Beasley to wait upfield at about the 45. Here's the snap. The kick is kind of an end-over-end kick. It'll pop high. Andre will just backpedal away and let it roll, and it'll come pretty much to the same spot, maybe a little deeper in Ruffer territory, where it'll be marked at the 38-yard line. Don't forget this season, when you're looking for a place to pick up some great tasting pizza, that's when you want to make the drive to Lugo's Pizza. Lugo's Pizza in Muskogee, proud to be a part of Ruffer football in 2024. And Nick, I can tell you personally, there's not too many other places that I'm going to find pizza the way I like it. That New York style pizza is mouth-watering good. You'll enjoy it too when you check it out at Lugo's. Find out more details online on Facebook with Lugo's Pizza.
So they mark the ball at the 39, and that's where the Ruffers will start off this series. Bird and company going for second touchdown of the day after completing that 45-yard strike to Beasley last time.
5:05, the clock will start on the snap of the football. Wallace to the right of Ficklin. Play action, swing it out in space. Beasley again at the 45, changing direction, slipping through the initial contact of Michael Kent. He'll get upfield to the 47-yard line. About an 8-yard gain on the little swing route out on the outside edge to let Beasley use his quick feet.
Kent just got a hold of his ankle just a little bit to knock him off balance, and that was all it took. He managed to lunge forward another 3 or 4 yards.
Ruffer's trying to take advantage of that freshman defensive back for the Bruins. Now Ficklin with Wallace, and now a timeout going to be taken by the Muskogee Ruffers. We'll do the same. We'll pause 30 seconds, 4:33 left, quarter number 1. When play returns, it'll be Ruffers 2nd and 2 with a 7-0 lead over Bartlesville. Back after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football 2024.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words.
Wow!
That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick.
Wow!
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Back with you here at Ruffer Village, where the Ruffers lead at 7-0 with 4.5 left to play in the first quarter, and the Ruffers on the move again with a 2nd down and 2.
You know P.J. Wallace has got to be anxious to get his hands on the football, Nick, here on the 2nd and short yardage call. Again, bring motion in front of Bird. That's Beasley. They'll hand it off. Hand it off to Wallace. Breaks 1, breaks 2, and gets close to the yardage needed at the 49-yard line before being knocked off his feet.
Looks like they're going to spot him just a little bit short.
So it'll be 3rd in the yard. Jamie Beasley, Andre Beasley go out wide to the right. Darnell outside the numbers, or actually about on top of the 50-yard line. Then there's an anticipating quick count. Sam Hobach, the 2-year starter at the safety position, jumping into the neutral zone. That'll be a 5-yard loss for the Bruins, but more importantly, a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer 1st and 10 by flag.
Get a gift there from the Bruins, and so the Ruffers almost to the 46 is where they spot it, 1st and 10.
Same formation again with the pair of receivers out to the right side. Washington lined up as the tight end on the left. Ficklin will hand off to Wallace. Got a block from Javon. Stiff arms the tackler at the 40. On the sideline, the 35, the 30. And then stiff arms the would-be tackler on contact.
Something, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
As he came over to make the stop, but not before P.J. Wallace rambles downfield for 17 yards to the 29-yard line. And another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer 1st down and 10.
Sutton Williams was the guy who got the stiff arm there in the face by Wallace. Those guys know each other well.
I'm quite sure they're on a first-name basis for sure. 2 wide receivers go out wide to the right. Bring Beasley in motion across the formation. They'll play action to Wallace. Throw the streak down the boundary on the hatch with the catch. Easy catch. Peyton Lang. Touchdown. Bird to the sophomore. Peyton Lang on the catch. A 29-yard toss right up the hash mark.
What a great throw, and he was open coming down the field. That's actually Jamie Beasley that made that catch. Good for 29 yards and a touchdown. So now Bird with almost 80 yards, over 80 yards passing so far.
Summerhill will be on to try the PAT. Ball is down on the chip shot. The kick is up and it's good. There's 3:39 left in the opening quarter. Ruffers with back-to-back shutouts defensively and back-to-back touchdowns on the offense to hold a 14-0 advantage. Back in 30 seconds. Ruffer Football 2024.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Back at Ruffer Village, Ruffers with 2 quick passing touchdowns. Ficklin to Beasley and Ficklin to Beasley. Andre and Jamie each with a touchdown reception. And the Ruffers will kick it off again, this time from the traditional 40-yard line with Reese Summerhill putting the ball on the tee. 3:39 left opening quarter. Ruffers strike quickly. Deep kick again, sending the return man all the way back to the goal line. It actually hits about a yard or 2 yards deep in the end zone. So Bartlesville will get it for the 3rd time tonight, starting from their 20-yard line. Don't forget, if you're trying to sell your home or maybe trying to buy a new residence or relocate your offices or just looking for some acreages. You need a real estate professional. That's why you need Lakeisha McNack of Century 21 First Choice Realty. She promises you we'll keep things moving. Find out more how Lakeisha can help you. Give her a call at 918-869-2646. Lakeisha McNack, Century 21 First Choice Realty.
Other 6A2 scores tonight. Quickly, Stillwater leading Northern's Class 28-0. Sand Springs up on Ponca City 7-6 in the first quarter.
4-3 receiver set. Now they motion across the formation to balance things up two wide either side. NEWl will take it, drop straight back. Ruffers come in and block the pass. It's almost picked off. A good blitz off the backside. Timmy Moore was the guy again. Got his hands up and deflected Nate NEWl's pass. And very nearly intercepted by one of the Ruffer.
Is that Wallace?
It is P.J. Wallace, who's getting a little extra duty on the defensive side.
Now he comes off.
Caden Harkin comes back in, as does Jack Green in that Ruffer defensive front. So 2nd and 10. Bruins with the running back directly behind. Play action by NEWl. Throws back to a spot. Caught at the 30. Breaks a tackle. 35, 40. And the best play of the night for the Bartlesville Bruins.
Sutton Williams.
They'll move the ball to the 39-yard line. That'll be a Bruins 1st and 10.
Williams.
Nico.
Yeah. Damian Nico with the catch, and he goes for a 19-yard pass play. And the Bruins have their first down of the night. NEWl this time will stack a pair of receivers to the short side left to bring motion in front of him. Little play action inside, handing off to the running back who tries to wiggle his way between that 4-man defensive front of the Ruffers. And a gain upfield to about the 40-yard line, so about a 1-yard pickup. Jack Green in on the tackle. 2nd down and 9.
Ruffers have shut down that running game so far. That was Sutton carrying that time for just a couple.
And 9 with the ball on the 40.
Has not been the strongest part of the Bartlesville offense through the first 5 games of the year. 2nd and 9. Ruffer show blitz. Play action series. Pull it, throw it up the field. Tipped. And almost deflected into the hands of the Ruffer defensive back. Tim Moore got his hands on it again. Nicky disguised that. He started to come upfield and drop back in front of the targeted receiver, who again was Damian Nico. Deflected. Anthony White almost coming up with the INT, and it falls for an incomplete pass.
White had it on his hands and juggled it a couple of times, but couldn't haul it in.
So now a trio of receivers who go wide side right for Nate NEWl. 195-pound, 6-foot senior for the Bruins, a 4-year starter. Ruffers show blitz, come up the middle with pressure, throw the ball up for grabs to the sideline, and Nico was the intended targeted receiver, and Anthony White just going stride for stride with him. And the pass well overthrown, and it's another foiled opportunity by the Ruffer defense.
Malachi Hopkins was the guy putting the pressure on in NEWl's face that time and really forced him to have to throw over Hopkins and throw it long.
Clock stops with 2:22 left here in the opening 12. Ruffers already up by a pair of touchdowns. And Andre Beasley will wait back around his 30-yard line for the 3rd punt of the night from Dylan Burson. Good snap this time for Burson. His kick's away. Beasley will move over in that vicinity. Now he'll just let it roll. And it'll continue to crawl downfield and come to a stop at the Muskogee 17-yard line. So a pretty good boot, but there is a flag down on the play, so let's wait just a moment. All in all, this would be, what,
43-yard punt if it holds.
Officiating crew talking about things out on the field. Referee will give us the explanation of the infraction.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. 1st down.
So you have the option, Nick, of a retry on the kick, or you can add it to the end of the kick, and it'll bring it up to the 22-yard line. So Muskogee says, yeah, we're not going to risk any type of mishandled exchange on a punt, so we'll take it 1st and 10 from the 22 with 2:10 to play here in the opening quarter of play, and Muskogee leading 14-0.
I'm a little surprised at that. It was ended up being like a 60-yard punt overall. I think they would have made him kick it again myself.
So the Ruffers will start 1st and 10, their deepest position on the field. As Ficklin will take it, he'll hand it off to Wallace, following blockers to his right. 25, 30, 35-yard line goes the freight train. Preston James Wallace.
First and 10.
Just continues to steamroll over his former teammates.
13 yards on the gallop by P.J. Wallace and a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. First and 10.
Gives him 36 yards and 4 carries tonight.
2 wide receivers out to the left. Ficklin will take it. They'll float it out in space to Andre Beasley, who tries to duck under a would-be tackler and can't escape. He gets brought down right around the 40-yard line. Be a 5-yard pickup on the completion from Ficklin to Andre.
Give credit to Bartlesville. They've done a pretty good job of containing Beasley, who usually manages to skirt out of those tackles, but they've done a pretty good job of stopping him after the catch tonight.
Noah Darnell, himself a former Bruin 2 years ago. Standing outside the numbers, little jet sweep. Bird's going to pull it, keep it himself, and the Bruins have a host of white-shirted defenders there, tugging on the legs of Jamarian Ficklin, who just churns forward up to about the 42.
Quarterback Keith bring the ball to the 42-yard line.
Good effort defensively by the interior. Noah Newton, one of the defenders for Bartlesville, stopping Ficklin after a 2-yard pickup. A 3rd down and 3.
Manageable 3rd down situation. I would think we might see Mr. Wallace here.
Jervon Washington will lining up as the H-back off the right side of that offensive front. Now move Noah Darnell back in closer to the formation. Wide side of the field to the right. Ficklin takes the numbers, high snap. Quick delivery out in space. Darnell with it and couldn't hold on to it. Was trying to make his turn and do a football move, and the contact came quickly from Landry Deaton. The ball falls free. Bruins have an injured player down on the field. It'll be 4th and 3 as they tend to the injury for Bartlesville. Nick, let's remind all of our followers that, you know, with the changing of the seasons, and I have noticed a lot of leaves falling in my yard. How about you?
Yes, I'm getting them.
And I'm carrying them in the house, and that's not something the wife likes. Whenever you want to have your yard ready to look its best, that's when you need the talented crew from Zapata Lawn and Tree Service. Antonio Zapata and his team can take care of those pesky leaves. They can trim the trees. They can, of course, take care of any lawn services you may need. And when it comes to putting up Christmas lights, well, they can do that for you as well. Don't forget Zapata Lawn and Tree Service, part of Ruffer football again here in 2024. You can give them a call for more details at 918-990-0946.
Grant Foote is the injured Bartlesville player who comes off the field under his own steam for the most part. And the Ruffers 4th and 3. Kind of go back in punt formation. I'm a little surprised here.
Bruins will put a man deep on the punt return. That would be Sutton Williams. Snap it back to Bird. Looks maybe run it. Now he'll kick it, and he launches a bullet up into the night sky. Ruffers try to chase it down. It checks up and then skirts away from Michael Puckett, who was racing downfield to try to stop it before it got to the goal line. So that's a 58-yard punt, Nick, with no return.
Schedule, I think that was going to be a pass play on the fake punt. Like I said, I was a little surprised the way the Ruffer offense had been moving the ball and the way the defense had been playing to not go for it on 4th and 3 there at midfield. But I think they had a pass in mind, but when that didn't develop, Bird went ahead and kicked it.
So this will be the 4th offensive series for Bartlesville. Once again, starting from the 20-yard line. Nate Neal with his running back. He's going to line up to the left side of the senior quarterback. Little counter off inside. Ruffers closed down from the interior with that trio of linebackers. Jack Green, one of the green shirts, coming up off the pile, along with.
It's going to be second and 8 for the Bruins. The ball will be on the 22-yard line.
Williams gets 2 on the carry.
JoJo Alexander also in as part of that contact, but a 2-yard pickup upfield to the 22-yard line, and the 12-minute clock has expired here in the first quarter of play. Muskogee Ruffers with 2 quick scores and a pretty strong defensive effort through the first 12 minutes and lead Bartlesville 14-0. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer football in 2024.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton after one quarter of play. Muskogee with a 14-0 advantage. You know, the end of the year is coming up soon. There'll be all kinds of holiday get-togethers, maybe Employee of the Year awards to be administered. That's when you'll want to check in with the pros in design at I-40 Sports and Awards. Let Martin Updike and his team at I-40 Sports and Awards design your awards just like they do for the Muskogee Athletics Hall of Fame. Located at 812 Eastside Boulevard in Muskogee. Drop by or give them a call at 918-682-0280. I-40 Sports and Awards.
Other 6A2 scores, Choctaw leading Southmore 16-0. Piedmont on top of Grant 28-0.
Wallace comes in. Ruffers come in with a 5-man defensive secondary. Little 4-2-5 look. Neal back in the pocket. Ruffers blitz hard, and Neal saw there was nobody to throw it to and just threw it in the direction of one of his teammates.
And his longtime former teammate, P.J. Wallace, right there in Nate's face as he tried to pass that.
Dayton Stevens was the closest man in a friendly white and powder blue jersey. So the incomplete pass brings up another third down. Bruins have picked up one first down in their first 3 possessions. Ruffers scrambling around on that 4-man defensive front. Motion across the formation. Neal will take it. He'll come straight back. Ruffer see the little screen underneath. Caught up across the 25 and from behind. Tackled and brought to the turf. Good chasing effort that time by the Ruffer defense. As getting there was Kyron Cope from his defensive end spot. The gain will be upfield to the 27, so it's a pickup of 5, and it's 4th down and 3. So another 3 and out for the Ruffer defense. Dayton Stevens on that reception last play for Bartlesville.
Bartlesville so far with a net 2 yards passing and 5 yards rushing.
Ruffers with that last 12-minute shutout, Nick, have put together 7 scoreless defensive quarters of protection. Beasley will wait right around the 50-yard line for the punt from Burson. The kick this time is kind of a knuckling type kick. Just had no real spiral to it. It hits and takes a couple of hops and goes out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 40-yard line where Muskogee will start, leading 14-0. When you're in need of medical supplies, and I can kind of relate to this personally right now, Nick, not myself, but for other family members, whether it's a walker, whether it's crutches, a cane, or maybe you just need some sort of ankle support, or you need medical supplies of any kind, that's when you need Alpine Medical Supply, the champions of health coverage and health protection for you, located at 1601 North Main. 918-682-7773 is their number. They'll help you with all the insurance details as well when you call on the pros at Alpine Medical Supply.
Ruffer's ready to go now on the offense.
11:03 to play here before halftime. Ficklin giving for Wallace, shocks one tackler, keeps his balance and manages to crawl his way upfield to about the 45-yard line.
By number 20, P.J. Wallace.
You know, I watched some of his videos, Nick, in the early season as a youngster, watching him run the football. And he runs the same way today. And when he was in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, when he got tackled, he fell forward. Well, what did he do right there? He fell forward for a 5-yard gain.
41 yards on 5 carries. 9 yards almost a gain.
Bird will turn again, hand it off to PJ, and he lowers his shoulders and uses those legs to backpedal up near the 50-yard line. They'll say he went to the turf at the 49, so it'll be a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 1 needed.
Bring the Ruffers to 3rd and 1.
Muskogee here tonight. Nick, a short week next week with the fall break. No school Thursday and Friday, but a Thursday night football game. A trip over to the OKC metro area to take on Capitol Hill. Ruffers on a 3rd and 1. See what they'll gamble here. Ficklin will read the defense. Blitz coming off the edge. They play action, swing it out in space. This is Beasley. Has the first down. Still on his feet. Twisting out of a tackle. 40, 35. Trying to cut outside of a block at the 30. 25, 20, 15. But there's a penalty flag back away from the play. Back upfield. Beasley takes it all the way to the 4, but we're going to have to find out which way this hanky will go.
Well, that flag came in way late, too.
It was way behind the play.
So I'm not sure if we have a hold way back there.
Could also be a sideline warning. We'll just wait and see. But a big play by Andre Beasley as he goes all the way to the 4. But they've already started bringing this one back, so I don't think the play is going to stand.
Nope.
Wait and see where they will mark off the infraction.
Comes the umpire bringing the ball back up the field.
Here's the interpretation of that infraction against Muskogee.
Personal foul on the offense, blocking out of bounds.
Oh, I haven't seen that one called before.
Yeah, got a big block out on the outside. Jaylen Burns just ran his defender smooth out of bounds. And from where it happens, Nick, in the 40-yard lines where they said it occurred in Bruin territory, the ball goes 15 yards back upfield to the 45. We'll replay the down. So all in all, it's a 4-yard loss of field position, but it's a bigger loss when you consider the ball would have been at the 4.
That's 4 penalties for 45 yards against the Ruffers.
Looking from the reaction of head coach Travis Hill, he wasn't really in total agreement with the official's call. Now the play being signaled in from the sideline, flashing in the signals. Ficklin will put 2 receivers out wide to the left. Jamie Beasley by himself to the boundary right. Play action to Wallace, throw back underneath, and penalty flag's going to come on a pass interference as Jamie Beasley was trying to slide in to make the catch, and contact came early. I don't really know that it was true interference, but it was early contact as the guy that was in the defensive coverage was E.J. Bilal.
So this is a case where the high school rules helped the Ruffers out. If it had been a spot foul like in college and pro, it had only been about 5 yards, but they get 15 out of this and a first down.
And it is a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Ruffer 1st and 10 by flag. That's the second one of those tonight. Maybe that's special interest on that new car truck at Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Play action. Ficklin throws it out in space, breaking the tackle. Still on his feet, just refusing to go to the turf. And the defensive back over there, Michael Kent, holding on for dear life. Andre Beasley making the catch, getting a 5-yard pickup on the first down. Clock showing 8:45 left here in quarter number 2. Still 14-0 Ruffers.
Beasley closing in on the 100-yard mark receiving tonight.
Ficklin with a hard head cat. Now he'll stand up, and all of his offensive teammates will look over to the sideline. Ryan Dvorak, along with Levy Adcock, signaling in the plays. That's a unique
play clock now down
system.
to 5. As Bird's still not quite sure what's going to happen.
I think they're going to have to call a timeout. They'll do it, and we'll do the same. 8:16 left before halftime. Ruffers facing 2nd and 5 when we return, leading Bartlesville 14-0 back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer football in 2024.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue. 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue. Slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Back at Ruffer Village out of the timeout. Ruffers will face a 2nd and 5. Ruffers obviously looking for another insurance touchdown here, Nick. And when you need insurance, that's when you need David Cobb and your fast, fair, and friendly State Farm insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, David Cobb at State Farm is there to handle all your insurance needs. Give them a call at 918-682-2511.
Ruffers ready to go now on this 2nd down and 5 from the Bruin 35.
H back to the right side. Wallace on to the right of Ficklin. They'll hand it off to PJ starting right, cutting back to his left, still on his feet, and then he's ankle tackled. First guy that got there that time was Sam Hobach, the 6', 170-pound, 2-year starter for the Bruins. But Wallace will get 3 on the 2nd down carry, and the Ruffers will face 3rd down and 2.
One of the few times that they've been able to stop PJ for less than 5 yards on a carry.
Have to cross the 40-yard line to advance the sticks in Bartlesville territory. E.J. James, the wide receiver, out to the left. Ficklin will pull it. He'll turn the corner at the 40. Out of attack from 35. Tripped up and falling inside the 20 goes Jamarian Ficklin down to the 19-yard line. From the 32 to the 19. The Baker's dozen 13-yard gallop for another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. First down and 10.
Michael Kent got him down around the ankles and just knocked him off balance enough for his friends to come up and help out on the tackle.
James and Beasley, EJ and Andre go to the left side. Jamie Beasley in the slot out wide to the right. Javon Washington flanked out as a tight end to that same right side. Now Bringo in motion. They run the jet sweep back to Beasley off a good block from Jamie. 15 at the 10. Another big block downfield and a touchdown. P.J. Wallace just annihilates the would-be tackler, and Beasley scampers in for his second touchdown. This one on the run of 19 yards.
A nice effort, too, that time by Beasley. Good credit to Jamie for the block, and then Andre with a couple of broken tackles and a lunge right at the end for the score.
And another good effort by all 11 playing as one. 60-yard touchdown drive. It took only 6 plays. Extra point is on the way, but this one is blocked. So the score will remain Muskogee 20, Bartlesville 0, 7:03 to play, quarter number 2. Back in 30 seconds with more Ruffer Football 2024.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this Friday night game number 6. Ruffers with a quick start here in the first half, scoring on 3 of 4 possessions. Andre Beasley with his second scamper to the end zone. The first one was off a 45-yard Ficklin pass. This one on a 19-yard gallop on the jet sweep. And the extra point was blocked, leaving the score at 20-0.
Ruffers just having their way so far in this game.
Reese Summerhill, who's been very busy tonight, has things ready to go. He'll approach. And with a swing of the right foot, drives it deep, sending the return man to the goal. And this one checks up. It's a live ball. If it goes out of bounds, it's touched by a Ruffer. Did he get it before it went out of bounds? Apparently he did not. That's a real risky play if you're the return man, Nick, to let that ball bound around like that. Fortunately for Bartlesville, it goes out of bounds.
They'll start from the 35-yard line.
So they'll get to start at the 35 following the out-of-bounds kick.
7:02 to play here before halftime. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew.
Well, I think the Bruins are going to make them kick it again.
Are they? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Congratulations again to Jada Wardlow and E.J. James, the two members of the homecoming royalty duo.
Well, I guess not.
Okay.
Heads linesman took the ball all the way back to the 40 and then got corrected, so the Bruins will have it at the 35 to start.
Clock never moved, though. 7:02 remaining here in the first half. Ruffers up 14-0. Ruffers now will have that 4-man front. Wallace, a stand-up defensive end, chasing the play from behind. The ball handoff goes inside, back to the left. The Ruffers' Tim Moore was there along with some help from his teammates. Also in there, Malachi Hopkins. A gain of only a yard upfield to the 36-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Stevens carrying that time for the Bruins.
White jerseys, powder blue numbers, dark blue pants and helmets for Bartlesville. Nate Neal takes the waist-high snap, rifles a pass out in space, caught. Ruffers corral it quickly.
Michael Kent as a receiver making the catch.
E.J. James grabbing him around the waist to make the stop. It'll be about an 8-yard pickup, or maybe 7 as they'll mark it, to the 43. So it'll be a 3rd and 2 call. Dayton Stephen is the running back. He lines up behind Nate Neal, the quarterback. Slide the blocking back across the formation. Handed off in traffic to a big hole. Stevens across midfield into Ruffer territory before finally the Ruffers can twist him to the turf.
Yeah, Kyron Cope finally brings him down.
Game will go all the way to the Ruffer 45-yard line. So a nice gallop that time. And a 1st and 10, the second of the night for the visiting Bruins.
12 yards on that carry.
So quickly, Bartlesville now with the blocking back, sliding across the offensive front from left to right. Down the line, a little RPO action. Handing it off to Stevens, trying to get to the corner. Ruffers got out there, fighting off a block. And they're able to pull him down. Then there's, I think, a flag thrown at the end of the play. The gain goes from the 45 to the 41. See which way this penalty will be assessed. It may be on the Ruffers for a late hit.
They're not moving back, so.
Gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Bruins.
Horse collar tackle against the Ruffers.
So that 15-yard walk-off from the end of the run gives 4 yards for Stevens on the carry, plus 15. And moves it to the 26-yard line where Bartles will have 1st and 10 in Ruffer territory. Their deepest threat of the night with 5:05 to go before halftime.
5 penalties, 60 yards against the Ruffers.
Handoff again, Stevens bouncing out to the left. Inside the 25 and down near the 22 on the first down carry. About a 3.5, 4-yard pickup. Bartlesville started this drive with their own 35, Nick, and had a nice run by Stevens for the first down, and then with an aid of a 15-yard penalty, have it in what we call the green zone. Twin receivers out wide to the left for Nate NEWl. Play action, pulls it across the middle, again deflected up in the air, and goes over the intended hands of a would-be receiver. E.J. James came up. He knew he had to make some sort of contact with the intended target. Who for Bartlesville that time off the deflection was Michael Kent. And the incomplete pass will bring down a 3rd down and 6. Ruffer's getting a lot of pressure in the face of Nate NEWl.
Just 1 sack on him so far, but yeah, they've pressured him a lot as well, made him hurry.
So now with the running back to the left of NEWl. Twins out left and right. Ruffer show blitz up the middle, come with it. Handoff goes in traffic, and the linebacker stayed at home and did his job.
Is that Timmy or is that Latavian?
Latavian Johnson with a flex.
Yeah, wow.
After making the stop on Stevens after about a 1-yard pickup. So down 20-0 already, Nick. 4th and 6 this deep in the end of the field. I don't know if Burson got the leg strength to hammer through what would be almost a 40-yard kick.
I don't think so. It looks like the Bruins are going to go for it here.
See what they'll come up with a little bit of a 4 wide receiver set out to the right, empty backfield for Nate NEWl. Got to know where Damian Nico is. Now they'll move Stevens over inside, and NEWl alertly sees the defense he doesn't like, and he'll call a timeout. 3:37 left to go before halftime. Ruffers leading it by a count of 20-0. You know, there's a big football game, Nick, going to be played tomorrow.
Somewhere down south, yeah,
I was thinking youth football league.
No, I was thinking.
I think we're going to have the Horns, the Shorthorns, and the Sooners playing in Big D. Am I right?
I think so.
Well, no better way to get your pregame festivities all underway than make a drive out to 4322 West Muskogee and make your place, my place, Barbecue West. You can go get the ribs, the sliced, the chopped beef, baked beans, potato salad, all the fixings. Take it home with you and enjoy the Red River rivalry. Had to slow down to get all those words in the proper order. But your proper order will all be ready and waiting for you, whether you dine in or you carry out. Call ahead for faster pickup service at 918-683-5202 and make your place, my place Barbecue West.
So the Ruffers trying to make the stop here on Bartlesville as they move from their own 35 down to the Ruffer 21, by far their best offensive surge of this first half.
4th and really closer to 5. Again, the 4 receiver package, bring the motion of the running back alongside NEWl. They'll play action, throw it on a fade, up the boundary. That's Nico, but good coverage on the outside edge.
That's Edward James, I think, back there on the coverage.
It'll be a turnover on downs.
Damian Nico was the targeted receiver, and just good coverage in the defensive backfield. And actually, Nick, was Andre Beasley matched up mano-a-mano against Nico. So that's quick on quick. Nico on Andre.
And Andre was right with him. So the Ruffers take over on downs. Started at their own 21, leading by a score of 20-0.
3.5 minutes to go before halftime. We'll, of course, give you the halftime presentation, the Muskogee dance team, as well as an always entertaining performance from the Ruffer regiment. Ficklin, this time with play action, pumps once, going to throw the deep ball. Out behind everybody is EJ. 40, 35, 30, good night. EJ will take this one to the house. The king of homecoming has got a big play tonight. This one on a 79-yard scoring strike. And Muskogee has added 6 more to the scoreboard.
Nice pass. Berg looked like he was going to get hit just as he threw that ball. Still got it thrown perfectly. EJ made a nice catch and then juked around the defender to get around him and sail into the end zone.
74 yards, Nick, on the touchdown strike. Ficklin to EJ James. And now it'll be Reese Summerhill out of the hold of Coda Barnowski with the PAT. The horn sounds, they flash the lights, and the Ruffers are having a good night here at the Village. 27-0, back in 30 seconds with more Ruffer football in 2024.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Ruffers have scored 4 times tonight, Nick, 3 over the air. And that, of course, continues to build up not only the passing yards, but also the career touchdown numbers for Jamarian Ficklin, who with those 3 now has 106 on the season. How about his completions and yards so far tonight?
So far, he is 7 of 8 for 173 yards.
And 3 scores.
Yep.
Still with 3:20 to play in the first half. So Reese Summerhill will put it on the tee to kick off again to the visiting Bruins of Bartlesville under third-year head coach Harry Wright. Summerhill with the big kick. Fielded at about the 5. Bruins come straight up the numbers across the 20 and out of the initial contact and lunging up to about the 24-yard line. Really like the downfield coverage of this special teams unit. Not always able to see who the first guys are down there, but those quick guys on that special teams unit, Nick, they're like me and you when there's a big table of food waiting for us.
Okay.
Kind of the all-you-can-eat, you know?
Wondering where you were going.
Kind of the Golden Corral place, you know? All-you-can-eat. You don't know anything about that, do you?
No.
1st and 10, Bartlesville from the 24-yard line. 3:13 to go before halftime. Bruins with NEWl calling the offense. Play action series. Throws upfield. Again, this one overthrown as he tries to go to his go-to man, Damian Nico. The 6'2", 175-pound returning starter. The senior 3-year starter with 43 receptions coming in to tonight's game. Nick, he's got 43 of the 66 completed passes in the first 5 weeks of the season. I think he is the go-to guy.
That's one he probably should have had. He had to twist around a little bit because the ball was over one shoulder other than the other, but still one I think he probably thinks he should have had.
So a 2nd and 10. NEWl will hand it off in space. A little crease up the middle. The forward progress will go from the 24 to the 27. On the carry that time again, Dayton Stevens.
Carry by Stevens. That's going to bring
3-yard pickup, 3rd down at 7. Bruins with only 2 first downs on the night. Back in the pocket, setting up, looking to want to run a little screen. Now rolling out in space, throwing upfield, caught at the 30, out across and near the first down marker, depending upon a left or right foot, but a long stride. And boy, the Ruffer coaches are saying that one was not properly marked. It'll be to the 34-yard line. Needed 7, got 7 yards and a friendly inch. But more importantly, a 1st and 10 for Bartlesville at the Muskogee 34-yard line.
Ruffers all peeled back on defense that time. No one really put much pressure on NEWl, and he had all kinds of room to either run or pass.
Hayden Harkin on one side. Handoff goes in traffic, and speaking of Harkin, he just comes off his outside edge. He and Latavian Johnson making the initial contact on the Bartlesville running back, the young freshman, a highly talented, touted, and extremely talented young man, but just a freshman, loses 2 on the first down, carry back to the 32-yard line.
It's one of the few negative plays that Bartlesville's had tonight. They had a couple in the early going, but have since rolled on.
NEWl this time will again hand it off up the middle, and Kyron Cope and company are there with green shirts, along with Latavian Johnson, who's a little bit excited. And then a late penalty flag is going to be thrown as
Tim Moore
was trying to get up, and there was contact between he and the Bruin player.
And Tim's going to get called, I think.
Unfortunately, I think Timmy's going to get called for this personal foul. And that's his, would that be his second?
No, I don't think so. No, they picked it up.
Let's see what they're going to call here.
I thought they picked it up.
Personal foul on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Fans don't care for that.
Excessive contact. It's about the only way you can call that one. It'll be marked off and moved across the 45 to the 47-yard line on the 15-yard personal foul.
6th penalty against the Ruffers for 75 yards tonight.
Ball at the 47-yard line in Bruin territory. 1:23 to go before the halftime break. There was a lot of buildup of emotions coming into this one. NEWl, he got plastered in the backfield. Tim Moore got personal foul. This time he hits the quarterback and gets a little payback.
He got even with him that time. Second sack of the night for Moore.
That'll put the ball back at the 44-yard line on a loss of 3. Gotta like the continued week-by-week progression of this defensive group as a whole, Nick. And specifically Tim Moore, the weak side linebacker who came in with 42 tackles on the year, and he's adding to those numbers here tonight. Ruffers show blitz. Don't break the neutral zone. Play clock down to 7. NEWl looking at the sideline to 4 to 3, and Bartlesville thinks going to either have to call a timeout, they'll do it. 32 seconds to go before halftime. Ruffers up 27-0. We're back in 30 seconds with more Ruffer football in 2024.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and a Ruffer TV team from the Village, Ruffer Village. And a great win it is. 2nd down and 13 now for the visiting Bruins. A triangle of receivers out to the wide side right. Stevens will line up to the left of the quarterback. NEWl, Ruffers come on backside blitz. A catch underneath to Nico. At the 50, outside at the 45. Ruffers trying to hold on and corral the speedy running back. Kenyon Goodson able to jump on his shoulders and wrestle him to the ground, but not before Nico takes the ball on that little bubble screen back to the wide side right, all the way to the 39-yard line for a 1st and 10. 17-yard pass play. Clock showing now 14 seconds to play before the halftime intermission. NEWl will take the snap. He'll drop straight back. Ruffers come with pressure on the quarterback. Get a little block from the back judge. Now the ball just thrown up for grabs. This one's downfield. There's 3 Ruffers there. It's picked off. Muskogee on the INT. On the return, coming back to the near side. at the 30, 35, 40, blocks upfield, across midfield, and then finally shoved it out of bounds. And there'll be a late penalty flag thrown on Bartlesville. Actually, a pair of penalties.
E.J. making the interception.
Boy, he's having himself one heck of a night.
Isn't he?
That pass was just thrown up for grabs, and James with the INT. Now, remember, 2 penalty flags thrown on the return, even though time has expired. The referee threw his penalty flag, and then he tossed his hat along with it. So I don't know what the official here on this near sideline saw, but he's talking with his referee partner, Ethan Rowland.
You think one of them's got to be a late hit, like
well,
you
it
said.
has to be. And they'll continue to talk, and then Rowland will give us the explanation.
We will have one untimed down. Personal foul roughing the passer on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, first down. After the play was over, personal foul on Bartlesville. Unsportsmanlike on Muskogee, those fouls offset. One untimed down.
So 3 penalties on that play.
Wow. A personal foul against the Ruffers for roughing the quarterback. This isn't the NFL, is it, Nick?
No.
So Bartlesville will get one untimed down from the 24-yard line because there were 2 penalties, one against Bartlesville, one against Muskogee. So the knockout of bounds, and somebody else must have verbalized something, and the judge here on the near side threw his hat down to mark the second foul after his initial toss of the yellow.
So the interception by James wiped out.
And the ball will be replaced at the 24-yard line after that 15-yard penalty. So Nate NEWl will put a trio of receivers out to his wide side right. He'll take the knee-high snap. Ruffers force the action. Now NEWl scrambling around. He's trying to find somebody. He just throws it to the end zone. There's people over there, and picked off again. Ruffers come away with the football, and who else would it be but the bird? Just sitting back there at center field, goes up and makes the grab, and the Ruffers will go to the halftime dressing room, still posting the shutout, 27-0. Stay tuned. Our coverage of Ruffer football continues from Ruffer Village on this week number 6 Friday night after this 3-minute timeout on Ruffer TV.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams, now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CD JR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CD JR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you will find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to the village, Ruffer Village, home of the Muskogee Ruffers. And on this homecoming night 2024, Ruffers have done their work to near perfection, posting 2 scoreless quarters of shutout defense, and then an offense that's been able to find the end zone on 4 of 5 chances. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you at this halftime break. Nick's quickly using the fingers and toes to add up all the numbers, but the Ruffers, after getting a 3-and-out, had their first possession starting from their 40-yard line, and would need only 5 plays to score the first touchdown of the night on the toss from Jamarian Ficklin to Andre Beasley. That made it 7-0 with 7:23 to go. After a 3-and-out by the defense, the Ruffers start their second series from their own 39-yard line, and then 4 plays later, it's Ficklin to Beasley, Jamie Beasley, this time a 29-yard touchdown toss. The Ruffers would give up 1 first down, and then unable to move the ball themselves, have to punt the ball away as the first quarter comes to a close. But then we get the ball back early on in the second and would put together a nice 60-yard drive using 6 plays. Andre Beasley on a 19-yard scamper got some good blocks from Jamie Beasley and from P.J. Wallace, scampering into the end zone with some extra efforts of his own. Andre with his second touchdown of the first half. The extra point was blocked. He was 20-0. Bartlesville got deep in Ruffer territory but failed to convert on a 4th down situation, and the Ruffers take over from the 26-yard line. In comes the bird, and up goes the football, and it's a 74-yard touchdown strike to Edward E.J. James. And the Ruffers made it 27-0 late in the second quarter with 3:13 left to play. And then with a couple of personal fouls giving Bartlesville an opportunity to score and 1 untimed down, they throw the football up for grabs on the final play of the half. It's intercepted in the end zone by the Ruffers, and we've come to halftime with a 27-0 halftime score. Nick Hampton, you've been using the fingers and toes and the calculator as well, and it's a pretty good offensive performance and an even more impressive defensive effort.
For the Ruffers, let's talk about the defense since you mentioned it first. Bartlesville with 6 first downs. They had just 1 for a good part of that first half and then got some late in the game. 6 first downs, 16 rushes for just 18 yards on the ground for the Bruins. There were 6 of 13, NEWl, 6 of 13 passing with an interception, or actually 2 interceptions, and 36 yards. So they have a total of 54 yards total offense in this first half. They had 4 penalties for 40 yards, and Dayton Stevens, the leading ball carrier, has 8 carries for 34 yards. For the Ruffers, they had 6 first downs in that first half, 12 rushes for 105 yards. Bird 7 of 8 passing for 173. So the Ruffers with 278 yards in total offense in this first half. 7 penalties, though, for 90 yards. That will probably draw some attention in the locker room at halftime. A couple of those were kind of silly penalties, if you will, personal fouls.
Well, I want to say the first one against Andre Beasley after the touchdown, I don't like. Well, I mean, let's let the kids be kids. This game is for the kids. He slammed the ball to the turf. Yes, I realize that is by rule a personal foul for excessive celebration, but give me a break.
Well, I mean, I could see that being a delay of game maybe if you spike the ball and it goes away and the official doesn't get it. But yeah, that's stretching it a little bit. Yeah, I know, but it's a little stretch to call it a personal foul.
It doesn't really matter.
Wallace, the leading ground gainer, 7 carries, 48 yards for the big guy tonight.
So halftime dominance on part of the Muskogee Ruffers, 27-0. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll entertain you with the Ruffer Regiment, an exciting group of musicians it is, performing here at halftime. That with more from Ruffer Village. Ruffers up 27-0. We're back in 30 seconds in Ruffer football for 2024.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words.
Wow!
That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick.
Wow! New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back at Ruffer Village. Muskogee dominating in the first 2 quarters of play, 27-0. Defensive muscle and offensive firepower, empowering the Ruffers to the 4-score advantage. Some other scores from 6A2 football tonight in the opening portion of the evening. Sand Springs, the opponent for the Ruffers in a couple of weeks, leading Ponca City 27-6. Sapulpa leading Putnam City West 37-0. Putnam City North having no trouble with next week's Ruffer opponent, Capitol Hill. 42-0 is that score. Choctaw leading Southmore 30-3. Stillwater running roughshod over Northwest Claxton at the half, 56-0. Piedmont just hammering U.S. Grant 50-0. And Putnam City leading Lawton Eisenhower by a score of 21-7. As we said at halftime, we want to showcase the talents of the musicians and the special halftime entertainment of the Muskogee Ruffer Regiment, an award-winning group who's had 2 solid performances in their last band contest competition. Let's just throw the wide shots up and turn up the microphones and let you hear the sounds of the Muskogee Ruffer Regiment. That roar down below us comes from the Ruffer fans. Almost as much celebration with the voice of Asia Brown and the Ruffer Regiment as there was on the first 4 touchdowns by the Ruffers tonight.
And the Ruffer Regiment has done a great job so far in their competitions, making finals and making, I think, some history in the last couple of weeks in their trips, gone to Owasso and Broken Arrow. They're going to Union this week. So they have done well in their competition so far this year.
You can't see it if you're watching listening on radio, but if you're watching on Ruffer TV, we're going to pipe up the microphones and just give you a little bit more of this award-winning Ruffer Regiment. Another standing ovation for an outstanding group of young people, talented musicians in their own right. And yes, that powerful voice of Asia Brown and the Ruffer Regiment entertaining those in attendance here tonight. And it was, Nick, interesting to see the crowd reaction and the very rhythmic clapping of the hands by those in the stands right along with the music on the field.
Well, I think they've kind of followed the exploits of the Ruffer Regiment so far this year and know that this is, like you said, a real talented group. And so, yeah, you're right. They were really getting into it there during that performance.
Of course, each and every halftime performance coming to a close with the playing of the Ruffer fight song. And indeed, it is homecoming 2024. And there is truly no place like home, especially when you're at Ruffer Village and when the scoreboard says Ruffers 27 and Bartlesville nothing. We'll continue our coverage of Ruffer football 2024. But first, this 3-minute timeout here on Ruffer TV.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota, and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, Social Security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams. Now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CD JR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CDJR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Well, it is Homecoming 2024. A little halftime celebration by members of the Muskogee High School Varsity Cheer Squad. Looks like I see remnants of the lion, the cowardly lion. I see the scarecrow. And soon to come, I think across the middle of the field, kind of creeping up there. And, well, nope, I guess that was earlier, was the Tin Man or the Tin Girl, the Tin Lady. But nice performance by the Muskogee High School cheerleaders. The dance team went earlier. And, of course, Nick, a lot of times you go to a high school football game and halftime you just take a break. But it's very entertaining to watch this group of musicians and the Ruffer Regiment, just as entertaining as the Ruffer football team.
And, of course, the dance team and the others. The dance team went to nationals this last winter, placed 8th. So they're very talented. Looking forward to going back there again. They placed, I think, 6th in the game day competition last year. So they're a very talented group.
Kaya Fields, the spirit coordinator for Muskogee High School, has her groups well detailed and doing a great job in their performances, along with the Ruffer Regiment standing aside the Muskogee Ruffers football team. Tonight, Muskogee comfortably in front at the half, 27-0. We were running through some of the 6A2 scores. Sapulpa having no trouble with Putnam City West, 44-0. Next week's opponent for the Ruffers, Capitol Hill, is on the road at Putnam City North. They trail the Panthers 49-0. Sand Springs at halftime over Ponca City, 27-6. Piedmont is shutting out U.S. Grant 50-0. That's at the half. Stillwater 56, Northwest Classen 0. Those are other 6A2 scores. Putnam City leading Eisenhower 21-7. Next, Choctaw 30, Southmore 3.
And 6A1 tonight, kind of lopsided scores for the most part. Second-ranked Bixby ahead of Edmond North 41-17. Broken Arrow leading Edmond Santa Fe 20-10 at halftime. Top-ranked Owasso, no problem with Westmore tonight, 28-0 in the second quarter. Union on top of Norman North 28-14 at halftime. Jenks shutting out Mustang 24-0 at halftime. And Edmond Memorial on top of Yukon 24-0. Deer Creek leading Moore by a score of 17-14, and Norman pounding Enid tonight 49-7.
Well, then some scores of other local schools in Class 4A. Top-ranked Wagner cruising over Catoosa 53-7. Tuttle leading Bethany in a showdown of two pretty powerhouse teams in 4A. Tigers leading at 21-5. Hilldale and Ada tied at 14. That's at halftime. Broken Bow blistering Stillwell 35-6. And Fort Gibson in a close one with Grove at home tonight at Leo Donahue Stadium. Grove leading Fort Gibson at the break 14-13. Here at Ruffer Village, the Ruffers lead it 27-0. Back with the second half kickoff. Ruffers will have the football to begin the third quarter. We return in 60 seconds. This is Ruffer football in 2024. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, back with you at Ruffer Village, just about ready for the third quarter to begin. Ruffer football this season brought to you apart by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, by Buffalo Wild Wings, who will sponsor our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. And there are several guys casting early ballots for their chance to win that award. Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, along with ServPro of Muskogee. It's like it never happened. That's kind of what Bartlesville may be thinking after the first two quarters of play, Nick. It never happened.
Well, the Ruffers have just pretty much had their way. Bartlesville, first three possession with 3 and out, and the Ruffers capitalized ever since. The only black marks, if you will, on the whole night. 1 block point after and too many penalties to suit Travis Hill, I'm sure, in this first half.
Also helping make possible Ruffer football in 2024, the good people at Broadway Manor Care and Rehab. I can tell you from personal experience, they truly care for your loved ones at Broadway Manor Care and Rehabilitation. Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CDJR. If you were at the parade earlier today, they threw out some savings on service specials. Check them out at Honda Muskogee and All-Star CDJR. Here's the kick by the Bruins. Ruffers will field it. It's Noah Darnell. He's to the 20, trying to get to the corner, trying to change his direction and pick up some blockers. He'll be corralled and taken around the neck and brought to the turf at the 26-yard line. Just never could get a wall of blockers to get something going there.
Tried to scooch around a couple of blockers, and they pinned him in, and he was unable to find any kind of opening. So Ruffers start at the 26, not bad field position, and Bird and company will go to work here on the offense once again.
Well, the last time they were at the 26-yard line, it was one play for 6, 74 yards on the toss from Ficklin to E.J. James. So we'll see what the Ruffer offense will dial up here. P.J. Wallace will be the running back. Javon Washington wearing the jersey number 10. He'll line up just off the line of scrimmage to the right. Twins are to the short side left. Ficklin in motion with Beasley. They'll hand it off on a jet sweep. Got a kick-out block. Bees at the 25, spinning out of the first contact and gets up to about the 30-yard line. A pickup of a hard-earned 4 yards. Good defensive coverage over that time for Bartlesville. Archer Swisher, who last week had 7 tackles for a loss from his linebacker spot, making the stop.
3 carries for 36 yards running tonight for Beasley, in addition to his 29-yard touchdown reception.
2nd and 6. Noah Darnell way out to the left, standing right on top of the numbers. Beasley again in motion. Handoff goes inside to P.J. Wallace through a tackle to the 35, and then finally going to be dragged down from behind at about the 37-yard line. Tackle made that time by John Torres, but not before P.J. Wallace has 7 yards to the 37, and a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer first down and 10.
So the Ruffers keeping it on the ground and moving it upfield, get their first down of this second half.
Nick, good to see our good buddy Steve Braun and his wife, who were here in the to the house. And he's kind of holding that hamstring just a bit, Nick. You certainly hope that's nothing of concern. But he gallops in from 40 yards out. And the Ruffers have 6 more on the scoreboard for another touchdown pass. Bill Huddleston and Nick Hampton with you on this Friday night. And Reese Summerhill will be aboard to try the PAT to make it a 34-0 encounter. Ball down on the kick. Kick is away and through the uprights. Good. Timeout, 9:42 to go. Here the third. Ruffers' first offensive touch of the third quarter results in 7 more points. 34-0 the score. Back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2024.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football in 2024. Ruffers take the second half kickoff and start from their 26, pick up a couple of first downs. A 29-yard screen pass to Javon Washington to the 40, and on the next play, Mr. Beasley does what Mr. Beasley does best, shake and bake after the catch from Ficklin, 40-yard touchdown, Muskogee.
Ficklin closing in on 300 yards passing now tonight.
9:42 to play. Approach, he'll knock it up high into the night sky. On the return, straight ahead up the right side at the 20, and then twisting out of the first contact and finding his way upfield to the 25-yard line as the Bruin return man. I think that was Sutton Williams on the return, Nick.
Usually back there, so Ruffer defense now will go to work for the first time here in this second half with a comfortable lead in the game. 8
consecutive scoreless quarters posted by Steve Craver defense. Combination effort of the defensive line, linebackers, and secondary. Nate Neal back at quarterback. He'll hand off straight ahead. Who'll wait just a moment, and there's not much running room. Jack Green will grab the back around the waist and wrestle him to the ground. Call it a 1-yard pickup straight ahead. On that carry, that was Sutton Williams.
Yep.
To the 26-yard line. It'll be second down and 9. Ruffers alternating almost every play. Green and Harkin come out. Wallace comes in along with Tim Moore. On a second and 9. Motion in front of the quarterback. Play action. Throw the little slant route. Almost picked off. And it is INT. Great read by the defensive back with the interception.
And then
Ruffer's going to get another celebration penalty, but this time
White.
Anthony White with the INT. Wow.
Second INT tonight for the Ruffers.
Anthony White.
Flag is down at the 26.
So the striped officials will confer. And our referee, Ethan Rowland, will define the damage of the penalty.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on Muskogee number 20. 15
Oh, they called it on PJ. All right.
Towards disqualification. First down Muskogee.
That's the third time tonight the Ruffers have been penalized for personal fouls.
That puts them over 100 yards in penalties now tonight.
The interception will stand. Am I right?
Should.
It was after the play.
He said, yep. So the walk-off.
Unless they didn't rule it an interception.
I think they did. The interception was
referee's going to determine.
The foul was not on number 20. The unsportsmanlike was on number 2. His first towards disqualification.
Okay. So the penalty moves it back to the 44, which is about right from where the play ended.
Anthony White does get credit for the interception, however. So now Ruffers having to properly adjust quickly.
Ruffers with 105 yards in penalties now.
So from the Bartlesville 44-yard line, Muskogee, after the interception, they'll flip everything over to strong side left. Play action series. Bird's going to go upstairs again. Again, wide open to a wide open target. Easy pitch and catch. Bird to EJ. Touchdown, Muskogee on the long touchdown pass.
44 yards on the touchdown pass.
Ficklin to Bird again. And the Ruffers are picking on a youthful Bartlesville secondary and putting points at will on the scoreboard.
Wow, the Ruffers, that is, the second touchdown for James tonight.
Yeah, one was a 74 yards. This one a 44 yards. Barnowski to hold. The extra point splits the uprights off the toe of Reese Summerhill. And the Ruffers have made it a 41-0 situation here with 8:45 left in quarter number 3. Back with more Ruffer football in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2024.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to Ruffer Village here on this Friday night, week number 6. Don't forget, when you are in need of insurance, that's when you need fast, fair, and friendly State Farm insurance agent David Cobb. Nick, I think the Bruins might be looking for some sort of defense against the Ruffer defense. But when you need defense for your home, your health, your life, your business, call on David Cobb. Let him find the right price for you and the best coverage available with State Farm Insurance. 918-682-2511. David Cobb, State Farm Insurance.
Reese Summerhill kicks it away. Good deep kick, but it'll be returned.
Bruins bring it straight ahead across the 15 through a crease at the 25 and finally ushered to the ground upfield right around the 30-yard line.
There's a flag down back at the 18. Someone's going to get called for a hold or a block in the back for the Bruins, I would think.
Harry Wright spent some time with me on the phone yesterday, Nick, talking about the growth of this football team and talking about the number of underclassmen that he's got into the lineup. And even in talking with Travis Hill later in the afternoon, Travis was pointing out, there's some talented young people. But Harry was quick to remind him a lot of those are just freshmen and sophomores, players to come of age. But here tonight against this talented Ruffer defense as well as an explosive offense, the Bruin White of Bartlesville have been no match.
So 10-yard walk-off for a block in the back by the Bruins.
Puts it back at the 10-yard line.
Gives them 50 yards in penalties tonight on 5 flags.
8:37 left to play. In quarter number 3, Ruffers cruising 41-0. Nate NEWl will stand about 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. Ruffers come with a hard blitz. That's Wallace. He got into the backfield, forcing NEWl from the pocket, who will now come up and then go to a slide right in front of the official, right about the 9-yard line. Anthony White was the guy that was over there to make sure that one was going nowhere. Loss of a yard. Actually, I think that was Coda Barnowski, not Anthony White.
So lost back to the 9-yard line as Wallace was in there pressuring him. He got away from him, but then White quickly comes up to make the tackle for the 1-yard loss.
Ruffers 4-man defensive front. Kyron Cope on one side, Caden Harkenock on the other. Play action series. Quarterback throws the slant and through the hands of the intended receiver, Damian Nico, who's just been a little bit off target tonight and has been NEWl as well.
6 of 16 passing tonight for Nate NEWl with 2 interceptions. So not a great night, and they're having to play from behind, which is what Steve Craver talked about in pregame, is making Bartlesville one-dimensional, right.
So 3rd down and 11 for Bartlesville, needed to reach their own 20-yard line. It's tied the Bruins with twin receivers out to the wide side right. Ruffers show blitz. Barnowski coming through a crease. Pass thrown out in the flat. It's caught but quickly tackled as the Ruffers got over there quickly. The defensive coverage, defensive safety Kenyon Goodson on the reception against Damian Nico. And they'll get back the yard loss plus 1, a 2-yard pickup, but it's now 4th down and 9.
4th down and 9 to go.
Kept Nico in pretty good check tonight, too. Their talented wide receiver who had 30-something catches coming in has only 3 tonight.
Dylan Burson this time will stand about 5 yards deep in his own end zone to kick the ball away, and Noah Darnell is back deep for the Ruffers. Nick, I'm curious to see the availability of Andre Beasley. Here's a high kick that's an end-over-end kick. Ruffers just going to shout out of the way of this one, and Bartles will race upfield to touch it dead at the 28-yard line in Bruin territory.
I'll be interested to see now if we've decided that Bird and company have had enough for the night and we send the subs in. Let's see who comes in.
I think you'll see that at the end of the third quarter, Nick, if my premonitions would be correct.
Yep, Bird is out there.
And it is good to see Andre Beasley back out there, even though I thought he went in a little bit
gimpy there.
I don't know if that was just a touchdown stride maybe. The Tennessee walk or the TD walk for Andre Beasley.
Well, the Ruffers can make quick work of this on the short field from the Bruin 28.
7:01 to play here in the third quarter play. Ficklin with the running back Wallace to his right. Hands off to PJ, off a block, got out on the edge, runs through a tackler, spinning his way free to the boundary. And he'll step on the, it used to say chalk, Nick, but he'll step on the painted sideline right about the 12. So that'll be a 16-yard run for Mr. Wallace. But there is a flag back up near the line of scrimmage. So hold on.
Against the Ruffers.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
So they'll walk it off from the line of scrimmage or from the spot of the foul, which was the 25, and move it back to the 35. So all in all, it's a loss of 7 yards in field position. 6:48 in the moving here in quarter number 3. Ruffers were up 27-zip at the half. They've quickly scored twice here in the third and would like to add one more. Ficklin straight back in the pocket. Set the underneath screen to Beasley, and there's quite a collision. And unfortunately, that's Andre Beasley running eyeball to eyeball with Miguel Chavez. And I'm sure Miguel's over saying, hey, I'm on your team. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that little guy.
No gain on the play.
Beasley at, 5'8", and Chavez at about 6'4". Not much of a match there.
And a little bit of weight difference as well. So a second down now long for the Ruffers. Ficklin will wait. He'll counter out. Big chase from the pocket. Picks up good backside protection. Throws to the end zone. Receivers out there. There's got to be a flag here. Yeah, did he not get it? Did they not call a pass interference penalty?
Well, I don't see the flag.
Is there yellow hunkies? Yeah, I think now the official's going to come. Okay. Yeah, it's way over there.
And one of the Ruffers is kind of slow getting up.
It was Noah Darnell who was the guy slow in getting to his feet.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Pass interference on the defense. Those fouls offset. Replay second down.
All right. So
Ruffer football in 2024, brought to you by Serpro Muskogee. It's like it never happened. Just like that play right there.
So still back at the 35-yard line. Second down and about 17 for the Ruffers at that point. Need to get it down to the 18 for the first down.
So Ficklin this time will put E.J. James split out wide to the left. Jamie Beasley and Andre to the right. They'll run the stretch, pull it out of the belly, throw it across the middle. Beasley with a catch at the 25, trying to find extra yards, and he'll get giving one back to the 26.
Gets 9 on the carry.
So a 9-yard pass and run combination for Andre Beasley from Jamarian Ficklin. Third down and 8. Clock showing 5:36 and counting here in the third. Jamie Beasley, Andre Beasley are the 2 receivers to the quarterback's right. Javon Washington lining up as the H-back on that right side of the offensive front. They'll run the handoff this time to Wallace through a crease, fighting forward and then pounding his fist to the turf. He was wanting to find the end zone. He'll be stopped short of the yard to gain, getting to the 22. A 4-yard pickup for P.J. Wallace, and now it's a 4th and 4 for the Ruffers, and Muskogee will go for it. Ficklin with a couple of hard counts. Looking over at the sideline to see what they want to do here on this 4th and 4. Strong side to the right, roll Bird that way. Looking to run or throw. Now going to throw back across the middle. Wide open was Jamie Beasley, but a good effort by the defensive back of the Bruins, who came off coverage to get a hand in the face and actually tipped the ball away. That's E.J. Belisle.
Got a hand on it just enough that it flipped on over the head of Beasley and fell incomplete.
So the ball goes over on downs at the 22-yard line with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Ruffer still leading it comfortably, 41-0. Century 21 First Choice Realty Managing Agent Monica Medley can help you with all your real estate needs. Give her a call at 918-704-5101. When you need real estate bought or sold, you need a pro, and that's where you need Monica Medley of Century 21 First Choice Realty. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Play action, NEWl to throw up and catch and drop to a knee right at the 30-yard line.
It's Damian Nico.
It's just a pretty good combination. I think that actually was Julian Uribe on the catch.
Okay.
The 8-yard pickup from the 22 to the 30. So a 2nd and 2 with the clock continuing to run. Play action, inside handoff, fighting through the first contact, and out to about the 34-yard line goes the Bartlesville Bruin ball carrier.
That'll be a Bruins 1st and 10.
Tavian Johnson bringing Sutton Williams to the turf, but not before he picks up the necessary yardage, getting 4 to the 34 and a 1st and 10. Bruins now more of a hurry-up style offense. NEWl's going to catch it, going to rifle a pass out in space. It's off the fingertips of the young freshman, Michael Kent.
Michael Kent, incomplete.
Confident young man, 5'10", 165 pound as he's listed on the program. Freshman who goes both ways.
So the Bruins pretty much in a must-pass situation for the most part to try and get something on the board in this game.
Ruffer's in that 4-2-5 look, hand the ball off inside, and it's just a depleted effort, and it is Koda Barnowski that upends the Bruin ball carrier.
Number 9, Koda Barnowski.
It's on the carry that time for the Bruins with Sutton Williams. He gets absolutely nothing. Met at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
7 carries for 10 yards tonight for Williams.
Ground game has not been the strong suit of the Bruin offense tonight. Ruffer show blitz. Now they'll check out of it. NEWl in some trouble, scrambling to his left, just throws this one up for grabs again. Ruffers are down there, and it's knocked away. Peyton Lang was playing one of the safeties. E.J. James, the corner on this near side. Of course, that was that 5-man defensive group. The incomplete pass stops the clock with 3:16 to play, and it'll be 4th down and 10 and a punting time for the Bruins.
Very fortunate that one wasn't picked off for NEWl. Just laid it up there high. There were 3 Ruffers around, but no one can grab it.
This is the 79th meeting between the two schools. Muskogee's won 48 of the preceding 78. Since 1982, they've won 20 of 30 meetings. Here's the punt. Ball will bound away. Peyton will just back away from it. That's Peyton Lang, who was in return for the Ruffers. And the ball will continue to roll, and the Bruin players waving their arms to get a little bit more of a forward progress.
46-yard punt puts the Ruffers in business at their own 20.
Leading 41-0 tonight here at Ruffer Village on this homecoming night celebration. When you're celebrating the outstanding efforts of your employees, your students, whatever your need for a special award, you need Martin Updike and his team at I-40 Sports and Awards. Muskogee Athletics chooses I-40 Sports and Awards to design and create their Hall of Fame honor awards. And you can do the same thing for yourself and to meet all your award needs. Count on I-40 Sports and Award, located at 812 Eastside Boulevard, 918-682-0280, owned and operated by former Ruffer quarterback Martin Updike. 1st and 10 for the Ruffers. Hand the ball off to Wallace, going to his right, out of a tackle to 25, PJ at the 30, running past the defender at the 40, 45, and then stepping out of bounds. They'll say PJ stepped on the painted sideline at the 48-yard line. That's a 28-yard gallop for the senior running back of the Ruffers, who's traded powder blue for Kelly Green. And a Ruffer 1st and 10. Kyle Edwards Buick GMC 1st and 10.
12 carries for 90 yards tonight for Wallace.
Like to see PJ get over the 100-yard mark. Now Beasley will come in motion against the formation. They'll hand it off again to Wallace. Inside out, 50, and lunging forward down to around the 44-yard line. The knee may have hit the 45-yard stripe. But that's the 45 on the opposite side of the 50, so 7 more for P.J. Wallace. It'll be 2nd and 3, and good lead block by Andre Beasley.
Ruffer receivers and blocking backs do a real good job of getting on those blocks and springing receivers.
Jamie and Andre come wide to the right. Noah Darnell will be by his lonesome to the boundary outside the numbers to the left on the short side of the field. Now Beasley will flip over as they signal in the new play.
Play clock down to 4.
And Muskogee will call a timeout. We'll do the same with 2:08 to go in the third. Ruffers comfortably in front, 41-0. There's no place like home, especially when homecoming is at Ruffer Village. Back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer football in 2024.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick.
Wow! New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs, up to $15,000 off.
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Bill Huddleston, the captain, back with you on this week number 6 Friday night for the Ruffers. Don't forget, next week it'll be a Thursday night contest. Ruffers traveling over to the Oklahoma City metro area, playing at Spiegel Stadium, CB Spiegel Stadium, home of Capitol Hill High School football. 2nd and 3 from the Ruffers from the Bartlesville 45 as action resumes. Ficklin, a little play action, hands the ball off in traffic. Latavian Johnson on the carry. And the LJ will get a hard 1-yard pickup. P.J. Wallace has seen a lot of playing time tonight, Nick, not only offensively with his rushing yards, but he's been an integral part of that switching out of the defensive front that has kept constant pressure on the Bruins.
We talked to Travis Hill, and he said a lot of these guys that can play both ways, we'll see a little more of that as the season goes on.
Play action, throw it out in space. Beasley with a tipsy do with the shoulders. 40-35, good night. Andre going to race to the house once again. And this time there is no laundry. Flash the lights, honk the horn. The Ruffers on the touchdown run.
44 more yards passing for Bird. Gets him now to 378 yards through the air tonight.
Biggest night individually, statistically, for Jamarian Ficklin this season. Beasley himself has had quite a showing.
158 yards receiving for Beasley.
And now Reese Summerhill will try and tack on another extra point. The kick is away, and it splits the uprights. And with 1:30 seconds left here in quarter number 3, the Ruffers still posting the goose egg on the Bartlesville side of the scoreboard with a 48-point tally to their own advantage. Back with more Ruffer football in 30 seconds. This is Muskogee Ruffer football 2024.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Ball game like this, Nick, just makes me hungry. Makes me want to get out the mobile menu, make a little phone call, or maybe just put it on my planner for tomorrow morning. Dial ahead, pick at the barbecue, hustle back to the house for the OU Texas game when you've made a trip to My Place Barbecue West. Whether it's the ribs, the chopped or sliced beef, whatever you want, you'll enjoy your trip to My Place. My Place Barbecue West, located at 4322 West Okmulgee, 918-683-5205. 5202, excuse me.
Here's a kick return by the Bruins. 10-15, stumbles, and gets up across the 20-yard line.
Nice open field tackle that time by the Gunners downfield, and who else but Anthony White. Ruffer's having a lot of fun here tonight, Nick. Noah Darnell also in on that kickoff coverage. And I'm not sure, was there a fumble on the play?
Well, I thought for every minute there was, but yeah, there was actually.
There was, and Darnell came up with the football. So we got a little bit too much credit there for Anthony White, although he did create the fumble with the contact, and then the alert reaction to Noah Darnell to pick it up. So Muskogee will get it right back at the 22-yard line, and here comes Peyton Lane to take over at quarterback for Bird, with the Ruffers comfortably in front, 48-0. Nick, Ruffers came into tonight's ball game with the most offensive yards per game average in 6A football and the second highest scoring average among all 6A teams.
Davian Johnson, the running back.
Flip everybody over strong to the left side. Counter, hand it off inside. Nice little hole for LJ. He'll duck his shoulders and try to fight his way upfield, or I guess in this case downfield from the 22 to the 20.
Just the second carry tonight for Johnson, who's been mostly at the linebacker spot.
And has performed admirably as well.
Called his name several times on tackles. Yep.
Ruffer's offensive line with some backup personnel in there.
Inside a minute to play here in the third.
Ethan Lee in at one of the tackles on that right side. Peyton Lane, the quarterback, going to stop, throw it in space, put it up a little bit high. There's a penalty flag down as the pass was intended for E.J. James.
And they say he got there too early, maybe. Looked like a pretty good coverage.
It did to me as well. Pass was a little tall for E.J. as well. Ruffers may have had a man downfield.
Yep.
That's kind of what I thought. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Ruffers. And move the ball back from the 20 to the 25.
10 penalties for 120 yards tonight against the Ruffers.
Looking out there, seeing Hunter Lanier still in at the center spot. Ethan Lay, we mentioned him, Nick. He's pretty easily spotted. He's 6'6", 315 pounds. Kind of tilts the scales to one side, doesn't he? Lying at quarterback on a 2nd and 13. It'll play action series. Hands it off to Latavian Johnson, going hard to his left. Stops and cuts back into the defensive coverage. He'll get back virtually the 5 yards lost on the preceding penalty. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go as we go inside the final 20 seconds. And that, for the most part, will be the final play of the first 3 quarters of play. So at another scoreless quarter to the Rufford defense, with 12 minutes left to go tonight here at Ruffer Village, it's all Muskogee. 48-0 Ruffers. 12 minutes away from win number 6 on the 2024 campaign. Back in 30 seconds with more Ruffer Football 2024.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Well, the Ruffers tonight against Bartlesville have scored through the air and on the ground and have been defensively just overpowering against the visitors from Washington County. 48-0 Muskogee heading into the 4th. Speaking of real estate, when you're trying to buy or sell real estate, whether it's your home, maybe your business location, you're trying to relocate, you need a pro. And the person that's got all the right answers and can help you find the right location and the right price, whether you're buying or selling, is managing broker Monica Medley, a first-choice realty in Muskogee, Century 21, a well-respected real estate organization, and there's one of the best as the managing broker, Miss Monica Medley. She can help you with all your real estate questions, help you find what you're looking for, whether it's your new home or a piece of property you're trying to build on out in the country. Call on Monica Medley at 2023 North York, 918-704-5101. Ruffers on the 3rd and 8 as we start the 4th from the Bruin 20-yard line. Johnson to the right of sophomore quarterback Peyton Lang. He'll take the play action, hand it off to Johnson coming to his right, and good penetration up the field that time by the Bruin defender. As getting there was John Torres. And LJ will actually lose a yard on the play.
For the Ruffers.
Got him kind of by the ankles there and just managed to knock him off balance.
So now Muskogee in really no hurry, just taking as much time between plays as the clock will allow. Jamie Beasley and E.J. James will go out wide to the right. Washington lined up as the tight end to the left. Lang, play action in the pocket, waits, scampers around, wrapped up, down he goes. Back at the 25-yard line.
Took a little too long to try and get that one away.
But an alert play, Nick, not to just throw it up for grabs and risk an INT.
Yep.
So take the sack back to the 24-yard line. That's where Bartlesville will take over. Now put it at the 25, actually. With 11 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this one tonight here at the Village, and it has been all green and white, all Muskogee Ruffers doing what they've done best throughout the first 5, almost 6 games of the 2024 campaign. Nate NEWl at the quarterback. Turns and pulls the pass out, throws upfield. Nico with a catch, and he's hit immediately over here on the near side.
Nine yards there on the pass makes it a 2nd and short for the Bruins.
Nico is the guy, though, Nick. If you don't make good contact and wrap him up, he can take it to the house. Ruffer show blitz. Now they'll back out. Play action, trying to get to the outside edge. And Ruffers have him corralled, but the forward progress of Dayton Stevens will be more than enough for the first down as he'll go to the 37, a pickup of 3. Bartlesville in action here tonight, Nick. Next week at home against Putnam City North on the Thursday night fall break encounter. Ruffers will be on the road at Capitol Hill. NEWl again, play action. Waits, throws the outside route to Nico, and again, Ruffers get there quickly and close. E.J. James making the stop on the tackle. Forward progress will be upfield from the 37 to the 42. It's a 5-yard pickup. That's the little dink and dunk pass plays that have worked effectively for the Bruins, Nick. Not so much here tonight, but throughout the 2024 campaign.
Nico with 5 receptions for 52 yards tonight.
Ruffers now back in that 5-man defensive secondary. Ruffers come on a blitz, underneath pass, caught, and then I guess he held on to it. I thought for a moment Nico had dropped it.
I got it.
Tim Moore was coming on a hard blitz off the outside edge, he and Kyron Cope.
No yardage gain, though.
Complete pass, but nothing picked up, so it's 3rd and 5. Ruffers got a pretty big defensive front. JoJo Alexander standing in at one of those tackles. He's 6'2", 255-pound sophomore. Just still a growing boy. 3rd and 5 for the Bruins. Blitz right up the middle. Ruffers come with pressure in the face. Throw the ball out and flat. Caught by Dayton Stevens. But again, quickly, E.J. James and company.
Gets maybe a yard out of it. That's about it.
So it'll be 4th down and 4. And down 48-0 with 8:47 on the clock running, Nick. It's 4-down territory.
Yeah, they don't have much choice but to go for it here.
See which way the receivers will pair out for the Bruins. Michael Kent will be an outside receiver to the boundary left. A trio of receivers with Nico on the far end of that 3-man receiving core to the right. Going to run the option to the near side, a little RPO. NEWl will stop on a throwback. A nice stop-and-go move by Damian Nico as the defenders were giving yardage. Just stopped, and the pass was right on the money at the 45-yard line in Ruffer territory for a 1st down. 12-yard pass play on the 4th down conversion.
So NEWl's passing numbers starting to come up a little bit as he throws more now.
Bruins getting a little bit more of a hurry-up defensively. NEWl back in the pocket, blitz off the backside, throw it underneath, tried to throw it underneath to
Incomplete pass intended for number 21,
Dayton Stevens.
Tim Moore, the man coming charging up the middle right at Nate NEWl and forced that bad pass.
And good coverage on that little bubble screen or little RPO throw underneath intended for Stevens by Kyron Cope. Stopping the clock with 8:03 to play tonight here at Ruffer Village. Ruffers comfortably in front, 48-0. NEWl in the pocket. Time to throw upfield. This was tipped and almost picked off. Targeted again for Nico. Barnowski got his fingertips up and kind of changed the flight of the football.
So now 3rd and 10 for the Bruins at the 45. Ruffer defense trying to hold them off here.
Ruffer football this season brought to you by 222 Injury Lawyers, by Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CDJR. If you were at today's Homecoming Day Parade, they passed out a lot of candy to the kids and adults, and they also had those money-saving coupons for service. Check it out. NEWl in his pocket, throws upfield, just throws this one up for grabs. Ruffers drop back, and just a little bit too much of a center field effort for Peyton Lane to come down with it.
And he almost tipped it off to Michael Puckett.
Right.
Puckett almost got it.
Pass was just incomplete. It'll put the ball back at the 45-yard line. NEWl's going to be a tired young man. Nate NEWl has taken a beating tonight.
Several times he's just left that ball hanging up there, and Ruffers have picked off a couple of them, but he's fortunate it hadn't been more than that.
Ruffers faked the blitz. It's been a well-diagrammed and very well-orchestrated defensive effort. Bartlesville going to take a timeout with 7:50 to go. Ruffers, of course, would like to keep the clock moving.
Yeah.
And when you want to keep things moving when you're trying to buy or sell a new home, or buy or sell a piece of property, maybe move your offices, why not give Lakeisha McNack of Century 21 First Choice Realty the first option to help you? She's got all the inside best locations to relocate to and can help you find the right price as well. Lakeisha McNack of Century 21 First Choice Realty. She'll keep it moving for you. Give her a call tomorrow and get things started at 918-869-2646.
So the Ruffers now see what Bartlesville's going to do on this 4th and 10 situation from the 45. They've got obviously no choice but to kind of go for it here and see if they can keep the drive alive.
Nico will be to the near side along with Julian Uribe. They'll stack the receivers, quick pump slant back, throw it underneath, and that one just got busted up because the Ruffers came with a delayed blitz. And
Parrish.
when NEWl looked up, he had a Ruffer right in his face mask.
Parrish coming up on the blitz was right in the middle of his face, and Nate NEWl just threw it away, basically.
Nick, I don't know how many more adjustments Steve Craver will want to fine-tune this defense, because tonight, at least in the pass coverage and pretty much against the run, the Ruffers have done pretty much as they choose.
So the second teamers come out again for the Ruffers on offense with Peyton Lang at quarterback.
45-yard line where Muskogee will take over.
Tavian Johnson lined up to his right shoulder as a running back. Johnson gets the handoff.
Comes off a block and twists his way across midfield to the 49-yard line in Bruin territory. A 6-yard pickup. Dustin Carpenter, one of those new numbers out there. Looking around, just trying to find fresh faces in that offensive line that has been ever so dominant. Ruffers will put Jamie Beasley, Noah Darnell, and Michael Puckett as a trio of receivers to the right, as the talented budding sophomore Peyton Lang pulls it, going to call his own number, ducks outside, looks to cut inside of a gap to 45, then jettisons his way downfield to about the 42.
And is snowplowed back about 5 yards after that.
But his forward progress will get him to the 42-yard line. That's more than enough for another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC first down and 10. The heir apparent to the bird, Peyton Lane, the young sophomore, getting a lot of playing time offensively and defensively. Doing it with his feet there that time, Nick, for the first down.
At the 42, a 9-yard pickup.
Puckett, along with Darnell, will be, Puckett and Darnell split that wide to the left. Peyton Lang will take it, and there's penalty flags flying. I think the Ruffer's going to get called for procedure.
The Ruffers were moving around there, yeah.
It's a different cadence when you change quarterbacks as well. And without question, Nick, you've heard the voice of Jamarian Ficklin. Yep. But I got a feeling it's at a little bit higher decibel pitch level than what Birds is.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I mean, I was surprised when I met him as an 8th grader. Hello, my name is Jamarian Ficklin. I mean, it had a real bass sound to it. So the 5-yard walk-off moves it back to the 47, but it's still 1st and 10 with 6:24 and the clock running here in the 4th.
1st and 15, actually.
Yeah, my bad.
The penalty, yep. Ruffers not in any big hurry here.
No need to be. Peyton Lang will wait, take the snap from Lanier, hand it off. Outside, this is Marquise Chaplin trying to find a crease. He'll get about 4 of the 5 yards lost on the penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Ruffers have won, counting this one, Nick, in the books, 15 of their last 16 played contests. The only loss coming last year in that stretch in the district championship game at Stillwater. 2nd and 11, for which the Ruffers got revenge in the state championship game. Lang's going to hand it off. Ruffers going to run hard to the wide side of the field.
Chaplin again carrying the mail for the Ruffers.
You get from the 43 downfield to the 39, a 4-yard pickup.
3rd and 7.
And it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
Clock moving down to the 5-minute mark left to play in the game.
Jamie Beasley will go out to the left side along with Michael Puckett. Dustin Carpenter will line up as the tight end off the right side. Noah Darnell, the wide receiver, out to the left. Lang handing off again, a big hole for Chaplin. 35-30, stumbles out of a tackle at the 25 and continues his downfield effort all the way to the 21-yard line. More than enough for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Ruffer 1st down and 10.
18 yards on that scamper by Marquise Chaplin. And he's showing that he's going to be kind of the heir apparent at running back.
Chaplin, just a junior, 5'8", 160 pounds, and is faster than a speeding bullet. Ruffers this time just content to take a lot of time here as the play gets signaled in from the sideline. Lang will this time put Puckett and Beasley out to the right side. Wide side of the field. On the 1st and 10, again to Chaplin. Through a crease, got a new big block up front. Nice effort that time from Jaylen Burns. He just moved the would-be tackler totally out of the picture, and that allowed Chaplin to scamper downfield to the 12-yard line, a gain of 9.
Chaplin over the 30-yard mark now, just in the 4 carries he's had here in this series.
Nice to see those offensive men in the front line, Nick, just creating a lane to run through, and that's what they did that time for Chaplin. 2nd and a yard to go for the 1st down, 12 for the touchdown. Lang to Chaplin in some trouble, trying to reverse his ground. He'll be chased to the ground and finally got tipped over head over heels back at the 16-yard line. So that'll be a loss of 4. But the clock still the friend of the Ruffers as Stevens comes in for the tackle for Bartlesville.
Moving down toward 3 minutes left to play in the game as the Ruffers have owned this one from start to finish.
A big mass of humanity on that offensive front line. Lang will take the numbers high snap, hand it off to Chapman running through a momentary crease, and he'll get down to about the 13. Getting back 3 of the 4 lost on the preceding down. So now do we see Reese Summerhill try field goal? Why not? Or just run it and use more clock?
I would vote for the latter myself.
4th and 2 for the Ruffers, have to reach the 11. Lang with Chaplin to his right. Trips out wide side right as the ball rests on the left hash mark. Peyton Lang takes the snap, hands it off Chapman through a crease at the 10, at the 5, lunging for the goal line.
Didn't quite get there.
He'll get stopped about a yard short, but he gets 11 on the 4th down conversion. And a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer, 1st and goal to go.
45 yards now for Chaplin on the ground in this series.
This will be the 9th snap in this offensive series. It started back at the 7:46 mark, so better than 5 minutes time of possession. And a 1st and goal to go. See what play call Levy Adcock will signal in. They'll give it off to Chaplin. He'll slice back to his left, and he's into the end zone for yet another touchdown. Marquise Chaplin doing a good deal of the work in that 9-play drive that goes 55 yards. And the Ruffers, again, Nick, have put more than 50 on the scoreboard tonight with Reese Summerhill to try a PAT to make it 55.
Chaplin covering all the ground, I think, in that series. If I'm right, I think he carried the ball every time.
Trying to get the play clock to start. The referee has just emphatically whistled twice.
Well, get the 25-second clock.
That's what
running.
that's what I'm trying to say, yeah. Finally starts. The official just threw his hands over there and said, what the heck. Summerhill toes through the PAT. It's good. And with 1:45 to go, the Ruffers have double nickels on the scoreboard. 55-0 Muskogee here on Homecoming 2024. Ruffers cruising past Bartlesville. Back with more in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football in 2024.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Back at Ruffer Village, 55-0 is the score. Ruffers comfortably in front, just a minute 45 away from securing win number 6. And Nick, perhaps one of the tiredest guys is going to be that man up on that push-up board after each touchdown tonight, trying to match the number of points up on the scoreboard. I don't know if he's got 55 to his credit there or not.
Especially after doing them all game long. Yeah.
Can you imagine what the guns are going to look like the time the season is over?
Yeah.
So it'll be Reese Summerhill to kick off yet once again. There's the high end-over-end kick. Bruins will field it right about the 10. Come straight up the middle, and Coda Barnowski says, ooh, wow.
I don't think so, he says.
He meets him head on, and then there's a little exchange of words between one of the Bruins and one of the Ruffers after that tackle made. And like good teammates, players from both sides kind of get in between the two communicating opponents and say, just go on, just go on. A minute 40 seconds left to go tonight.
Well, let's see what the Bruins, I'd like to think the Bruins would just run a few plays, runs here and call it a night, but we'll see.
Nate NEWl will remain as the quarterback. And Sutton Williams will be the running back. Twins left and right. NEWl this time going to hand it off to Williams straight ahead, and his forward progress will sprint out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. Bruins are going to fall to 0-6, Nick, and more importantly 0-3 in league play. They've got games against PC North, Ponca City, PC West, and Capitol Hill, so some very winnable games there remaining for this very young Ponca City Bartlesville team. NEWl again, the handoff. Sutton coming to his right. He'll be spun to the turf by the defensive front efforts that time of JoJo Alexander. The gain going to the 32. About a yard shy of the first down on the 5-yard pickup as we go under a minute to play tonight here at Ruffer Village. Could very well be our final play of the game, Nick, depending upon the outcome of this one play. NEWl, snap, hands it off again. Ruffers chase it down from behind and smothered in the backfield, short of the line to gain. And the forward progress is going to be called the line of scrimmage, so call it no gain. And now with 26 seconds left, Bartlesville can either hurry up and snap the football, or head coach Harry Wright just calls them all over.
They're working over to the sideline. So
the two teams will exchange high fives, and the Muskogee Ruffers will celebrate homecoming the way you want them to, with a 55-0 shutout by the Muskogee Ruffers to improve to 6-0 in 2024. And for the Muskogee defense, that is now 10 consecutive scoreless quarters. 55-0 Ruffers, a lot of offense, a very impressive defensive scheme that worked to near perfection, and a 6th win in the 2024 campaign. While for the Bruins, the picture just the opposite, 0-6, and more importantly, 0-3 in league play. Stay tuned. We'll come back with take a look at all the scoring plays, the statistics, and give you our Buffalo Wild Wings players of the game. But first, this 3-minute timeout on Ruffer football in 2024.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, Social Security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee Trusts, Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams. Now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CD JR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CDJR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. What was to be billed as a turning point in the season for both teams perhaps was a significant turn of the season for the Muskogee Ruffers, who came in undefeated but felt like they had something to prove tonight on both sides of the football. And after another scoreless performance by the Ruffer defense, now stretching their consecutive scoreless quarters to 10, the Ruffers offense matching that, scoring on 6 of their first 7 possessions, 5 of those through the air, matched with just enough ground game to make things challenging. And the Muskogee Ruffers cruise to a 55-0 shutout over the Bartlesville Bruins tonight here at Ruffer Village. Welcome back. Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton and our Ruffer TV crew. Glad to have you aboard here on Ruffer TV as well as on Okie Country 101.7 KTFX. And we'll remind you, don't forget, it's not Friday night next week. It's Thursday night. School is out for the fall break. The Ruffers will go on the road to take on Capitol Hill for game number 7. But tonight, it was homecoming. It was billed as there's no place like home, especially when the Ruffers play here at Ruffer Village, and it certainly stayed that way throughout the contest. As Muskogee scoring on its first possession, as we mentioned, 6 of their first 7 chances, and just used defensive dominance to record their 6th win of the season, and more importantly, a 3-0 league start so far this campaign in their search for a district title. Bill Huddleston with Nick Hampton. And Nick, just some quick observations from your point on tonight's outcome as you continue to add up all the numbers.
Well, really not much of a surprise. Bartlesville coming in 0-5. The thing that I guess maybe concerns you a little bit is that the Ruffers have just totally dominated and controlled without much effort these last 2 or 3 games, and you kind of hope that doesn't catch up with them. Next week, not going to be any better, I don't think, against Capitol Hill. Maybe here in a couple of weeks when the Ruffers travel to Sand Springs will be probably their toughest outing so far this season, other than the Rogers-Arkansas game. So the Ruffers, I think, Travis Hill's philosophy is no matter the score, you got to get better every game. Are we improving every game? And I think that's the measuring stick that he'll use.
Well, I think without question you saw a continued performance by the Ruffer defense tonight, because whether it was the traditional 4-3 alignment or when they changed into that more of a blitz package with a 5-man secondary coverage that just took away any passing opportunities, Ruffers were just in the face of NEWl all night long. And the play when they would switch that and bring in P.J. Wallace and move Tim Moore out to a defensive end, that along with just the traditional Ruffer defensive alignment that was just too strong against the Bartlesville offensive line that's continuing to grow up, even though many of those are underclassmen. And Damian Nico was the expected target. The Ruffers had him well covered for the majority of the night, and the Ruffers did the job all together on offense with defense and win it by the final count of 55-0 to improve their regular season mark to an undefeated 6-0, and in district play now 3-0, and will remain the leading scoring team in the state of Oklahoma in Class 6A football. We'll come back and take a look at the statistics and give you our choice for the Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. That after this 2-minute timeout of Ruffer football in 2024.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust. In times of need, it's comforting to...
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Well, it started off with a celebration of the homecoming royalty, and it finishes with a 55-0 victory, the Muskogee Ruffers over the Bartlesville Bruins, to improve to 6-0. Nick Hampton, statistically, as lopsided as the scoreboard, I think the numbers are just the same.
They are. Ruffers with 12 first downs tonight, 33 rushes for 216 yards. Passing tonight, Bird was just a great game, 14 of 16 with 6 touchdowns passing tonight, 378 yards for Jamarian Ficklin. Total offense of 594 yards for the Ruffers tonight. No fumbles, 11 penalties. That's kind of a dark side for 125 yards this evening. P.J. Wallace, the leading ground gainer, 11 carries for 97 yards. Andre Beasley, 8 receptions for 158 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 of those through the air and 1 running tonight for Andre. For the Bruins, they rushed 23 times for 34 yards, 13 of 30 passing with 2 interceptions for 73 yards. So a total of 107 yards of offense tonight for Bartlesville. They lost a fumble, and they had 5 penalties tonight for 50 yards.
They also had a pass interception, too.
Two interceptions.
Yeah, 2, right.
And Stevens, the leading ground gainer, 9 carries for 27 yards. Damian Nico, 7 receptions for 64 yards.
Okay, it's time to check the ballot box. And, there's early voting in all the elections all across the country, whether it's for president, for Congress, for governors, for representatives. There is early balloting that's already underway for the scheduled November 5th general election. But, Nick, I think we had several candidates here tonight that stuffed the ballot box, so to speak, because there were some outstanding performances on both sides of the football.
Well, one guy's name that we called a lot tonight on both sides, Latavian Johnson, had a great game tonight at linebacker. Also carried some in that second half at a running back spot.
Timmy Moore was all over the place
Bird
at defensive
with
end.
6 touchdown passes. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to deny those numbers. And, then you just keep looking around. You had E.J. James, who was Mr. Royalty for homecoming tonight, and he continued his celebrations out on the football field throughout the contest, had a couple of big opportunities tonight. And then one guy who has been just eager to get out and do something special, and tonight I think really had a standout performance of his own. 4 passing touchdowns for receptions?
Three receptions and a run for.
Okay, yeah, three pass touchdown pass catches, whatever it is, and 1 rushing touchdown. 4 scores tonight for the guy who wears number 3. He was the target of the first play, and he was a big key part for Jamarian Ficklin, who could earn a Buffalo Wild Wings Player of the Game award for as well, because, you don't get much better than 14 of 16 for 378 and 6 scores. But I'm going to go along with you, Nick, and I'm going to say tonight we give the award to Andre Beasley.
Well, you mentioned how anxious he was, and, of course, remember he mentioned he missed the first 2 or 3 games with an injury, so he's really been chomping at the bit, and it was nice to see him kind of break out tonight with those 4 touchdowns and 158 yards of receiving yardage. So, yeah, I concur. Andre Beasley gets our Buffalo Wild Wings Player of the Game tonight.
So Muskogee now 6-0 on the season. Most importantly, 3-0 in league play. Got their well-desired 15 points margin. And now, Nick, they go back to the dressing room, and they'll start focusing their attention quickly on a Thursday night preparation. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You take one day of preparation, it just kind of throws your schedule forward a day. And the Ruffers will have to go to work quickly because they want to continue, as you said, in Travis Hill's own prophecies, get better every day.
That's the whole goal, because, these kids read social media and they know that Capitol Hill's not very good. So that's going to be on their minds, and it'll be up to the coaching staff to kind of reiterate that philosophy of get better every day. Don't worry about who the opponent is. Just go out there and do your thing.
Well, Ruffers, as we mentioned, will be in action next Thursday night. Their opponent will be Capitol Hill, as we try to kind of give you a quick finish up on some 6A2 scores. As updating the scoreboard, Sapulpa has defeated Putnam City West 58-0. Sand Springs 44, Ponca City 6, and Putnam City North 70-0 over Capitol Hill. And the Ruffers will meet Capitol Hill on Thursday night at CB Spiegel Stadium. Nick, that is an old stadium.
It is, I remember.
We've been there numerous times over my 5 decades of broadcasting. And the last time we were there, it was a big win for the Ruffers over U.S. Grant, and they'll look to do the same next Thursday night. And we'll be there for the action, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff.
I remember going to that stadium to watch football games when I was in elementary school
when you were in diapers
in Norman. So that
how
is
many
an old
decades has that
stadium.
been?
That's been a while.
It has been. Some other 6A2 scores. Stillwater shutting out Northwest Classton. That's now in the third, 56-0. Piedmont 62, U.S. Grant 0. Putnam City 35, Eisenhower 7. That's in the fourth. And then Choctaw 51-17 over Southmore. And if we can get down quickly and just wrap up with some other scores of some local interest, if we can get down to Class 4A, see what's happening with some of the local squads. Grove has turned it on in the second half. They beat Bartlesville 42-13. Grove beats Fort Gibson, 42-13. Sallisaw over McLean 34-20. That's in the fourth. Scrolling on down, Hilldale leading Ada in the fourth with 9 minutes left to go tonight out at Hilldale High School. Hornets leading the Ada Cougars 40-35. Poto has beaten Glenpool 35-13, and top-ranked Wagner, no trouble, 59-7.
A couple of 3A scores quickly. Shakota beats Stigler tonight, 31-6, and Eufaula falls to Holland Hall, 20-7.
Final score tonight here from the Village. Everything came out just as the doctor ordered. No pun intended, Dr. Mendenhall. 55-0. Ruffers with the win. They'll prepare for a Thursday night encounter next week on Thursday night at Capitol Hill. We invite you to join us. Pre-game countdown to kickoff 6:30. Game time at 7. Don't forget the Tuesday night Ruffer Coaches Show from Once Barbecue at 6:30 on Ruffer TV, as well as on our radio partner, Okie Country 101.7. For Nick Hampton, I'm Bill Huddleston. For all of our Ruffer TV crew, so long from the Village. 55-0. The victory, making, once again, every day a great day.